Hi everyone, welcome to TPK. I'm Chrissy Kritz, and while things might look a little different on this Saturday evening, don't worry, you're in the right spot. So tonight we're going to be playing a game called Liminal Horror, a modern cosmic horror game that we're lucky enough to have the creator playing with us. Now that being said, I'd like to start this all out by stating that my players have all filled out consent forms. They've been informed of various lines and veils within the game that they can expect to see, and they have all consented to that. But for audience members, we will be exploring various horror topics, including body horror, possible body manipulation, old world cosmic horrors, and cult themes. So if any of this at any point becomes too much, feel free to take a breather, step away, and come back whenever you can. And the same thing goes for my players. If at any point they start to feel uncomfortable or it becomes too much, they're always welcome to step away. So, prior to the game fully starting, I'd like to introduce you to my players. So, we'll start with Proper.
Well, hello, my name is Proper Nerdy. I'm a TPK staff member, role player, and sometimes game designer. What is my character that I'm playing today? I wrote it like 20 minutes ago. I'm playing, I believe, Maxwell Bailey, and he is an EMT who just got off a very late shift. And I think we're going to go, I guess, assume to Goblin Archives next.
Yeah, go for it.
Hey, I'm Goblin Archives. I'm actually the writer and designer of Liminal Horror, and I am playing tonight Austin Graham, a 30-year-old movie store clerk who is excited to join his book club.
All right, and then we'll go immediately underneath you, Goblin Archives. So that would be Archival Dust Bunny?
Yes. So I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet, queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. Tonight I am playing Amy Gray, the local city archivist. We'll see how well she handles this.
All right, awesome. Logan, you're next.
Oh, that's me. I'm Logan Dean. I'm the writer and co-creator of the company, corporate survival horror. I also run Megacorp Games. I make weirdo games. Tonight I will be playing the role of Trevor Neal, former high school athlete, current college athlete. He's here to drink some coffee and not worry about anything.
All right. And Cave Girl, you're up next.
Hey, I'm Cave Girl. I make games sometimes. And tonight I'm going to be playing Betty, a wheelchair-bound librarian with weird and potentially extreme political views.
Awesome. All right. So those are my players. I did provide the players with a little snippet prior to gameplay of where they're going to be, the town, and the whole 9 yards. So I'm going to give all of the viewers out there a little bit of that snippet as well. So the scene is set in a town called Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina. About 5 years ago, a company moved itself into town, and seemingly overnight, your once quiet seaside village became a hub of movement on the north side. Yet strangely, nobody quite knows what it is that the company does or transports. All you know is that the company is called Hidden Potential. Sometimes in the evenings you see some of their armored vehicles leaving town, and sometimes you see a few men in business suits getting gas or out at the store, but they're not much for talking. It does appear to be a heavily fortified facility with rumors of what's behind the gates, leading to numerous new urban legends in town. It is the talk of the high school. Kids are known to attempt to break in, and they are taken directly to the police station and turned over to the local police. We did have a discussion earlier. It is a fairly conservative town. I will say that it probably thinks it's more conservative than it should be. So you can take that for what it is. And that's where we'll start. So the players have been prompted. We are starting in a scene. That scene is at a local diner. So one night, as you're all sitting at the local diner, a young man bursts in the door. And prior to that, what are you guys all doing at the diner?
So I reckon it's been a long day, but I reckon, like, I reckon Betty still has stuff she wants to do. Like, she volunteers, and she can only volunteer in the evening. So at the moment, it's just as much espresso as you can get in yourself to keep yourself going. Just, the determined attitude of the seasoned coffee drinker.
I'll say probably at this local diner, you might not necessarily be getting espresso, but hours old coffee that is nice and thick sludge that will work just as good, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's the caffeine. We're not drinking it for the taste.
Yeah. And what about the rest of you? What brings you to Kill Devil Hill's local diner?
So Austin, has been reading for the upcoming book club, the Stepford Wives, and so he has his journal full of notes, and is furiously writing in them, trying to make sure he gets all of his very important ideas down onto paper.
Okay. So that is one of the things that we had agreed as a team. A couple of you would be sitting there ready for the book club. What about Miss Amy Gray?
Yeah, I'm probably running a few minutes behind. I had to stop at the bakery on the way, rushing in just a few minutes later than I would like to get here for book club. And walking up to the table where my friends are, set down a box of pastries and open it up towards them. Adelaide sends her love. She can't be here tonight. They have some big order at the bakery for an event tomorrow, but I'm here and with some pastries.
So, and what about Trevor?
Trevor's here. He's got his book. It is unscathed. It has not been opened. It looks fresh. He's also trying to hide a VHS copy of the movie in his pocket, in his little bag. He tried to watch it but fell asleep. So he's a little nervous to get called out, but he's drinking some coffee and hanging out and looking fly. He's got some nice jeans with Levi's, classic.
As he should, sure. And Proper, I'm sorry, I don't remember your character's name. What brings them to the diner again?
Don't worry, I didn't either a second ago. Maxwell Bailey is a young guy who is still in his EMT uniform. He gets someone to drop him off for the big EMT van kind of pulls into the diner parking lot. He stumbles out kind of groggy from like a 16-hour shift, and he slinks in with his dark backpack over one shoulder and collapses into the chair closest to the door, and is ready for just a very, very hot cup of absolutely disgusting coffee.
Excellent.
Amazing. Okay. So as you guys are sitting there, to whatever degree, having a conversation about the Stepford Wives, your latest book club book, a young man bursts in the door, stumbling and almost barely able to hold himself up, his face splattered with viscera and blood. He kind of stumbles in and sits down at the bar of the diner. So he seems emotionless and calm, in his hand a large manila envelope that looks like it's seen some better days. He's wearing something like a police uniform, but it's different. It looks as though it's padded, maybe, not necessarily kind of bulletproof, but just kind of padded, almost as if it's a spacesuit. The room, all of you included, goes completely silent as you watch him sit down at the table. The only sound you hear is the hissing of the griddle in the back and the waitress moving quickly with a cup of coffee and begins to pour the man a cup. As the cup is filled, the man looks up at the waitress. Nobody gets in, nobody gets out. They've let me go to warn the town. I couldn't believe what I saw. His voice shakes as he finishes the sentence, taking a long swallow from his cup, seemingly unfazed by the heat of the liquid. He sets down the crumpled envelope that he's been holding. He glances up to the waitress. If there is a God, I hope he forgives me. Finishes his cup of coffee and runs into the bathroom. What do you guys do?
We have an EMT with us, don't we?
To be fair, Maxwell is not part of the book club.
So Maxwell is just watching. So I would say he's just witnessing this. As you see a table of people maybe in the back corner, I'd say maybe, like holding a bunch of books, just watching this all unfold.
Yeah, I would say Maxwell just kind of furrows his brow, and he's seen a lot of not well people in his day, and so he doesn't think much about it and kind of shakes his head. Though, did you say, was he bleeding, or did I make that part out? Yes, he was very much bleeding.
He was covered in blood, yeah.
Are we sure it's his blood?
We have not found that part out yet. But
Not quite sure.
Maxwell is gonna groan and grabs a couple like gloves from his backpack and wander into the bathroom to see if this guy is okay.
Okay. So you're going to kind of follow him in there. Is anyone else doing anything?
If as soon as Maxwell gets up, I'll just completely disregard it. Be like, looks like it's handled. Let's get back to talking about this great book.
Oh, that poor man. Oh, that poor man. A moment. I'm going to kind of pause, have a little pray, turn back to the group. So, Stepwives is about commercialism.
Is it?
Obviously, it's about the commercial plastification of American culture.
That's what I got from it too.
Could not agree more.
Austin looks through his notes and sees that he wrote nothing down about commercialism. It feels like he missed it. He missed the boat on it. But he does look up and notices, the manila envelope was left there? Okay, so being a movie store clerk, he clocks things being left a lot because usually they're not good when they get left in his vicinity, and he's just eyeing it. Hasn't yet gotten up and is eating the very timely prevented.
Are you saying his loss prevention skills are kicking in right now? Make sure no one absconds with a DVD.
Absconds and leaves something that shouldn't be there. Yes, definitely. As he stuffs his face with another donut. But doesn't make up to get up to grab it yet. It's not quite his problem, but he's definitely interested in it.
I feel like I'm going to kind of just follow his gaze and stare at the manila envelope for a moment, and then back to you. And I mean, we're all thinking it.
I don't think we should get involved. He was covered in blood.
I think if somebody's covered in blood, that's a clear sign that somebody needs to get involved. If he was fine...
The EMT, he's handling it.
The EMT is handling the man covered in blood. But the sinister envelope, is the envelope also covered in blood?
It is?
Well, we should make sure that it's okay. There might be, things in there that are getting, stained and need to be rescued.
Or it could have something to do with that place. I know you've heard the stories. We've talked about it a ton of times. Like, look at him. He looks like a spaceman.
Look, we all know it's a government black site where they put political dissidents. This much is obvious to everyone. But we're just going to check the room for cops.
All right. So as you guys are sitting there checking everything out, kind of eyeballing the room, you do see out the window a large black SUV, probably, like a Denali-sized vehicle, blacked out windows, just the running lights on. There is nobody in the car, but it is an ominous vehicle sitting outside. similar to the ones that you guys have seen some of those men in suits wearing around.
So, look, I don't want to put any pressure on anybody here, but I mean, we all know there's horrible human rights violations going on in there. You know, we all know what the government does to people.
I don't know
So,
about that. I mean,
if we happened to get some photocopies that happened to make their way to Amnesty International, I think we would be doing our duty as, you know, citizens of the earth.
well, my cousin Ricky works over there, and he comes home and he's fine. They're not like, he's not that bright. Like, he's not committing human rights violations. He's just checking people in for meetings. Like,
And the building permits just has it listed as office space. There aren't
Of
any
course it
secret
has it
rooms or
listed as-
anything.
I feel like Ricky would have told me if something was like fishy at the office that he worked at.
I mean,
Okay.
So
But-
I'm gonna very quickly jump over to Max, who has walked into the bathroom. So what you see when you get in there is a closed stall door. Just, you know, kind of like a normal men's room. There's the one stall, the door is shut. Nothing, no sounds, anything like that, but you see two legs sitting.
So Max will kind of grumpily just, hey man, you doing okay? And I knock on the door to the stall, just like, are you hurt? Because I can help you, but I'm off shift. But come on, are you okay?
So you don't hear anything from the other side immediately, but after a second or two, you will see the door open, and he is sitting there. He's, just sitting. And he kind of has his head in his hands and, takes a few heavy, deep breaths and kind of runs his hands back to his head, and very quickly, from his side arm, pulls what looks like to be a gun to the side of his head, and he just starts shaking, and his hand is shaking.
Whoa, hold on, good buddy. Hold everything. No, not today, please.
And his eyes are just welling up, and he'll put what looks like a gun down to his side, and he'll go, I don't know what else to do. They're gonna come for me.
Let's start with the blood, please. Okay. And he's gonna run into the sink and grab like a fuck ton of paper towels and wet them really quickly, and he's gonna run back into the diner, grab his backpack, and rush back into the bathroom to attempt to go clean this guy off of all of his blood.
Okay. So you're gonna run out real quick and run back in?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so the rest of the players, you guys see Max run out, very quickly grab his satchel, run back into the bathroom. Manila envelope still sitting there. When you get back in there, he's shaking, visibly distraught. On his person, you see a couple of interesting things. What looks like a small gas mask, but not like a full-faced one. Looks like kind of one you would see like a painter's mask.
Okay.
But a little bit more industrial or heavy duty. You also see on him a few different weapons. But other than that, it's just a plain black padded suit. And there is no necessarily exposed skin to say that this is his blood.
Yeah, he's going to... Well, he doesn't know that yet because he just sees blood everywhere.
Correct.
So are you... Could you maybe put the gun down and I'll clean you up? If you need to take some clothes off and I can dress your wounds, just let me know.
No wounds. Did you see... I might have been followed here. They let me leave, and I wasn't expecting that. But I don't think I have much time. and he's gonna kind of look a little bit more panicked. I probably shouldn't have even came in here. I just needed a way, just silence for a second. And he'll get kind of quiet and he'll go, "Do you hear that?"
Hey, dude, you're having an anxiety attack. Why don't we take some deep breaths? We'll get you some assistance.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, no, thank you. I appreciate what you're trying to do. And he'll kind of just like get up and push past you, walking back out towards his seat.
Max will kind of get confused to throw the wet paper towels in the trash can and just kind of wander out and just be like, "Are you? No, so I'm sorry. I'm serious, sir. Do you need assistance? Like, is there someone I can call for you?"
So as you do that, he's going to stop at the door, holding on to the door, and he'll turn to you and he'll go, "Unless you can help me, there's nothing."
Help you with what?
If you could give me a control roll.
I would love to. That's a D20, correct?
Yeah, and you roll under your stat.
Well, good thing my stat is so goddamn low. Oh my god, 8 out of 9. What a success.
So as he turns to you and says this, you would swear over top of his eyes you see a third eyelid shift from left to right. And he just walks out of the bathroom and sits back down.
Max, who has had enough of this shit, but is too curious for his own good, is gonna kind of follow him back to his seat and grab his coffee from his own table, plunk it down in front of the guy, and sit across from him, and just say, "Look, I get it. Things are rough right now. You've had a bad day, but like, what do you need?"
And as he sits there, you guys kind of like sit down together. You're following him out. He takes the last swig or two of his coffee and kind of glances over his shoulder out the window, sees the same vehicle you guys see, kind of like laughs and chuckles, almost unnervingly, and says, "To be honest, if I were you, I would get out of here soon. This isn't going to end well for any of us here if people are still present when they come in."
What did you do?
And he will very quickly shove the manila envelope into your hands and say, "Just get everybody out of this town, because I'm not going to make it." And he starts to walk out the front door.
If I look at this manila envelope, does it have any specific markings on the outside?
Nope.
Oh, come on.
So to the rest of the table, you see all of this transpire. You see now this gentleman is walking out, getting a better look. You see his outfit as well. You see the kind of industrial strength gas mask style thing. You see a couple of different weapons. He looks strangely, I guess the best word would be, whereas at first he was kind of panicked, as if he was trying to like survive, he is now strangely calm, as if he has just accepted that whatever is about to happen is about to happen, as if they've just caught up to him.
See, completely handled.
Great. I'll look over at Max and be like, "Hey, thanks for taking care of that."
Yeah, you know, there's lots of crazy folks late at night. I'm a little concerned for your safety, so why don't we, I don't know, get out of the diner and I'll call the police?
But,
I mean, I don't, he had a gun in there. I don't know if he's coming. I don't know if he's coming back. I don't know what his deal is, but like, he's had some really weird shit. If
Oh my gosh, Betty, you were right. See, I knew Betty's always right with theories.
So what you're saying is we need to skedaddle before the black helicopters show up. Exactly.
Or before he comes back, yes.
Maybe he
he had
Like,
someone chasing him, I think. Someone might be after him. He could be a criminal on the loose for all I know.
What's in the envelope?
I don't know. Why don't you read it? I don't fucking care.
I can read. I'll
Yoink.
take it. I can read.
Yeah. So, Trevor, as you open up the manila envelope, it is a hefty stack of clipped documents. And some of them are redacted. There's like heavy black lines blacking out a lot of the words, a lot of the sentences. Are you taking the time right now to sit down and read it?
This is a lot of reading. I'll pass it over. Betty, you seem to be more inclined.
So step one, are there any like organizational logos or like headers on the paper?
There is hidden potential logos on the top of the paper, yeah.
Okay, so they keep up pretense. I'm going to go through. I'm going to see if there are any names that I can find. Just scan it looking for like people.
Cave, have you happened to have read interesting government articles recently? Because you're going through this a little too methodically, and I'm a little scared right now.
I mean, it's a character who sincerely and thoroughly believes that there is a Guantanamo Bay government black site operating down the road from her and has been waiting for this.
This is the day she's waiting for her entire life. I got it.
Yeah,
Well, the last year or so.
last few years.
If we're afraid he's going to come back, could we take this meeting to the video store? That'd be okay, Austin?
I jingle the keys and be like, that's why I'm the manager.
That's why? I feel like that's
Yeah.
a reason to not make you the manager.
There's still video stores?
Oh yes, we're in the early aughts. Why wouldn't there be video stores? What do you know about the economy that I don't?
Blockbuster is a brilliant company that will be profitable forever.
Oh, luckily we are a niche market, so hopefully that'll make it more successful. Spiral Video.
Okay.
Then I'll just
So-
change my character sheet that says I have a smartphone to a BlackBerry.
I think a couple folks have flip phones.
I definitely have a flip phone. Why would we like Max wants us to leave like just the diner, right? Like we just have to get out of
We
the
should
diner.
go
Yeah,
somewhere
he's-
nice and secure.
He's like trying to clear everyone out in case, like, I don't know, he comes back with a gun or something. He's like this
The
close to
cops
pulling
come
the.
back for him.
So a considerate mass shooter.
Well-
Okay.
I mean, Max doesn't think the police are after him. Max probably thinks that, like, I don't know, the mafia is after him.
Where's everybody coming up with these ideas?
So are you guys hightailing it? Are you throwing a couple bucks on the table and hopping into somebody's car, or are you guys staying
Yeah.
to see what happens?
I feel like I do not want to be here if the cops show up.
Oh yeah, no, definitely not.
Yeah.
Like,
I'll grab the box of pastries from Addie and throw some money on the table. And
yeah. Like, if it's the mafia, we're probably fine, but it might be the police.
I'm gonna lean on the counter and shout to the chef and to the waitress, who are probably back in the kitchen by now. And because Max probably comes here after every shift, and he takes quite a lot of shifts, he will say, "Hey, Stacy. Hey, Dan. Maybe clear out for a bit. I'm not sure if you're safe right now. Just trust me, okay?"
And you'll see the waitress with her head kind of like popped around the corner, phone to her ear. I'm calling the cops. I mean,
Oh, thank God.
don't worry, I've got it handled. And like, she's like definitely on the phone explaining to the police what is happening.
Yeah, I'm leaving.
Okay. So you guys, does anyone have a vehicle?
I have a car.
Cool. All right.
Yep.
So you guys hop into Trevor. What kind of car do you have?
It is a Subaru Impreza.
Okay. So we'll all get into the Subaru.
Well, Max is probably gonna start walking home now. He probably has a long way to get back to his apartment, but
Do you want a ride, my dude?
I mean, I don't know who you are.
It's not a big town.
Sure, I live like 6 or 7 blocks that way.
Yeah, it's a hatchback. Just climb in the back.
Yeah, don't worry, Max. You can come to. I'll give you a free video at the video store, and like we'll just make a stop first.
Yeah.
Max hucks his backpack into the back of the Subaru.
All my baseball equipment is back there, so you just gotta like move that.
And it just kind of is placed precariously on top of the baseball equipment.
And we'll put Betty's wheelchair back there too, and get her in the front.
Absolutely. So you guys make your way. As you guys are driving away, you definitely see, as he was kind of making his way out the front door of the restaurant as well, you guys had kind of skirted out quickly behind him. You definitely see what looks to be the start of some shouting between two men in black suits and the gentleman in the what looks to be kind of like a security guard suit or kind of some sort of space suit. If you don't stick around to find out what, you guys drive off. You guys get to the video shop, and Austin, if you want to explain the video shop just a bit.
Yeah, so this is definitely one of those like buildings that has like 2 apartments on top, and then the lower level is a sort of small business. And opening up, it's exactly like a small video store, remembering from late 90s, early 2000s, rows and rows of racks with different videos. This is definitely a little bit more niche, probably more niche than would be successful in a small town like this. He doesn't know how the owner keeps filling it because there's definitely not a lot of customers. There's like the one rack of the popular new stuff, and then everything else is really art housey things that he likes and that he curates and orders for people.
I mean, I feel like we're like not near a big city, so there's a chance that people from quite a way around know that this is the only place they're going to get that stuff.
For sure. That's probably that too, right? That's the people drive in. So Austin maybe stays longer in this town than he should have because of the fact that he gets to see people from around.
Yeah.
There's probably in the corner one of those old TVs that has the built-in video cassette, but there's a cord sort of hanging from it so he can actually reach the VCR in. And as they walk in, he says, "Trevor, pass up the Stepford Wives. We'll put it on in the background." He's not one to ever want to not have a video on.
Oh, sure. I was gonna put it in the box. It's due. But can you just make sure it gets checked in?
Is it rewound?
I mean, we can rewind it right now.
Oh, so you watched it?
Some of it.
Cool. He definitely looks to see how much it was watched and then puts
it went through. I fell asleep, so we got to the end of the tape. But I mean,
now, Trevor, which version are you? Are we in 2004? Are we watching the newest version?
It's the Matthew Broderick, Nicole Kidman one.
Gotcha.
Perfect. He puts it in the rewinder, and we just have that sound in the background as people pile in.
Doesn't the VCR rewind?
Yeah, but this is faster.
Earnestly.
He's like, "Oh no, this is faster. Don't worry about it."
Seems like an ancillary device, but whatever.
You know, if I'm here, do you mind if I just kind of wander around for a bit? I have a lot of long nights with my mom.
Yeah, sure. I told you could rent anything.
And so Maxwell will take a second from his ride home to look at the weirder movies in the back.
Are you looking for anything specific?
Not really. Not like... He looks for all this. He probably his mom is bedbound at home, and she probably just always has something running, and so he's looking for something she might like. She probably read the Stepford Wives at some point, and then maybe never even saw the movie. But he'll look for similar kind of that similar era.
Okay. yeah, there's like Austin said, there's a ton of different weird stuff from that era. And you definitely could take some time. So for the rest of you, when you get to the video store, what are you doing?
Mm-hmm. So, does it look like this has been typed up on a typewriter, or does it look like it's been like printed in the documents?
It definitely looks like it has been printed off of a computer.
Okay. Because I'm trying to work out if you can work out like what the redacted stuff is by like the texture of paper.
Okay.
If you look really carefully. But like, yeah, I am absolutely just going, right, here's a giant stack of incriminating government evidence. Let's work out how bad it is.
Oh, look at that big stack of paper and like kind of put some things together. I'm gonna go out to my car and get a bat from the bat.
Absolutely. Sure.
And I'm gonna lock it like 10 times.
I look over to Amy and I'm like, do you ever see anything like this at your city job? Like, do they redact things there too?
Sometimes, and sometimes things are closed for research for a set number of years. We don't see anything from this business, though. They keep everything to themselves. Even their building permits are pretty vague.
Why would you redact stuff and not just shred it like a normal company?
Usually you have to keep things for a certain number of years.
And like there might be bits of the record that they need to keep. So they just like get rid of the incriminating stuff and leave the stuff that's, you know, and the cleaner gets paid $25 for, yeah.
Yeah, all records and governments have records retainment policies. They keep things usually for 3 or 5 years. And then if, like with the city after that, stuff comes to the archives. But it's usually for tax purposes. You have to keep stuff for so many years in case you get audited.
Because, yeah, sure, they are obviously on the up and up with their taxes, for sure.
So as you guys are kind of inspecting these documents, it is on kind of this hidden potential letterhead is the best way to put it. The texture of the paper is pretty like high grade cotton. It doesn't feel like a normal just printer paper. It's almost as if this like feels kind of like a book in some sort of way. And like Amy explained, her experience even kind of in the archives and her understanding of like business, how they run, how they keep documents. Amy, even as you're kind of looking at this looks a lot nicer than you're used to even seeing for records. Just very strange. And sometimes the wording in it doesn't even feel as if it was meant to be seen, as if it is actually just a book. If anyone wants to give me a roll, maybe I would say Amy would be probably the most appropriate for maybe a control roll.
Well, thankfully my control is high, so that 13 is still a success.
Awesome. Okay. So as you kind of are looking over the shoulder of Betty, and you're kind of like looking at it, and you get it in your hands, and you're kind of looking and you're feeling what's happening. It's definitely written as a book, and the sections that are blacked out or redacted, you can't quite put together what it is, but you can tell that the printer ink is not it, or whatever is considered printer ink is definitely not printer ink. It definitely looks more like viscous, and there's like a little bit of bleed on some of the letters.
Got some spooky ichor in here.
Yeah, this is really odd. The paper is a cotton blend, so it's like what we would use if you're trying to preserve things that last longer than what your standard paper is. But this ink it's too thick. You can see it's bleeding here along the edge of some of these letters. I don't think I've seen anything like this before.
If I didn't know better, I'd say this was like an art project. You know? It's like they've got best quality paper, weird quality ink. It's meant to look.
It's not. They're not written like business records either. It's strange.
Yeah.
But it's something that's meant to last, is what you're saying.
That's what it looks like. It's the kind of paper we would use in archives if we were trying to make it last.
So somebody's probably going to come looking for it, is what you're saying.
Well, if they are black site, I would say definitely.
Man, and then I'm just going to camp out in front of the windows and just be like, scoping those blinds.
Max will. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Max will arrive kind of at the front of the store, awkwardly standing like at the edge of this group because they seem all to know each other, and Max is like not sure why they're going all excited about things. But he'll have a collection of old VHS movies, but he doesn't have exactly taste, so they're just a weird collection of different movies that have no rhyme or reason really to be together. He's making a wild guess at what would be good. Anyway, so he'll kind of awkwardly interject. So you're saying this crazy guy just gave us a manuscript or something? Like, do you guys really think he was? Do you guys believe any of the things he was saying? He just, just going on about
definitely blood on him, right?
Yeah, but it wasn't. Oh God, he wasn't bleeding.
And you said he had a gun, right? Like, it's North Carolina, but
yeah, yeah, it's just this little thing. I didn't notice it too much because I was, worried that he was going to kill himself. So, but like, I didn't think about it at the time. But if it's not his blood, because he wasn't bleeding out. Oh God, I don't want to know what this guy was getting into. Is there like a late night fight club around here? Like, what the hell?
Probably.
I don't know.
I
If he is a weird, creepy author who is off his meds, like, he needs to see someone professionally, but
I don't know, man. His kit seemed pretty professional. I wouldn't be able to afford a suit like that if I was writing weird art memoirs or whatever.
I reckon it's interdepartmental. I reckon he's a spook.
I mean, it's a weird town.
Well, I'm just gonna grab these and probably head out. Thanks for.
I need you to fill this out. I do need to know how to get those back from you, so I slide you the registration form. Be like,
right,
it's on me, but
come on.
I sort of need to know who you are, especially unsaid is especially if this goes down the way you're saying it's going to go down.
Go down? What do you mean go down?
You helped that guy in the blood, right? You're the one who gave us this document. You're our connection to this.
I didn't give you anything.
You're an accessory now.
Accessory to what?
We don't know.
If I learned anything from Matlock, it's that I need to keep good records.
You know what?
Yeah, Diagnosis Murder tells you the exact same thing.
You know what? You guys are into some weird shit right now, and I don't have the time or the energy for it. I'm just gonna, you know what? Forget the tapes. I don't need to fill out a membership form right now. I'm just gonna be heading out unless.
That's how they track you.
That's how I track people. Yes, and I take out my Polaroid camera and I just take a Polaroid of you, and I'm like, this is fine.
Oh fuck! What? Fuck you, dude. Come on.
If I didn't know you better, I'd assume you were with them. But you're fine. He's fine. I trust him. He's fine.
No, I think this guy was in my class.
What?
We're like the same age. I think we went to the same high school.
Probably.
He seemed familiar. He's shy.
So as you guys are kind of sitting there having this discussion, argument, whatever you'd like to classify it as, Trevor, you
Both.
do notice that there are a couple of those kind of large Denali-sized, probably not Denali's because it's not time period appropriate, but those kind of like darker colored vehicles driving up and down the streets that are pretty quiet right now. They don't necessarily seem to be like slowing down or scoping you out or anything like that, but you definitely catch eye of them. And they are traveling north towards the factory.
Is that weird?
For you guys to see them, yes.
Oh, sure. Okay. Well, I'll clock them and I'll be like, we got more of those big trucks.
Are they coming near us?
Oh, I mean, they're on the road outside, but they haven't pulled into the parking lot or anything.
We're good. We're good.
Is there anything else in this like structure? Is it like a strip mall, or is there like a Baskin Robbins or something? Like, is there like? Or is it just,
Austin,
like,
are you
big
sharing?
building?
Are you sharing your building space with anywhere else, or is this just a standalone structure?
It's a standalone structure, but there is another structure right next to it that definitely has a Baskin Robbins.
For sure. Of course.
It's called Synergy.
Bingo.
So is it a Baskin Robbins / Dunkin' Donuts or what?
It is now.
It's
Knock
a
off
good
Dunkin' Donuts because it's a small town.
Oh, right. Pardon me. Yep, no, you're right. I'm just gonna head out. I don't know what you guys are talking about with the trucks, or good luck with the paper, though.
Hey, just make sure on your route home, like you're somewhere well lit where people will hear you if you go help, I'm being abducted.
Yeah, we're not
Okay.
terribly far, are we? Like, I could take you the rest of the way if you'd rather.
I mean, if you don't mind, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna-
Let's do it. I'll be right back, y'all. I'll take Max.
Yeah.
Right. Now thinks is a perfect time to take a break. Other
Okay.
than when we split the party.
I mean, I was fully convinced I'm gonna like walk, and all of a sudden something's going to attack me. So it's distinctly possible we won't be split for long. We're gonna take a
All
quick
right.
break, and we'll be back soon. Okay, folks. Bye.
All right, welcome back. Thanks for sticking around. So players, we were just about to split the party. 2 of you were heading in one direction, and the 3, I think, were staying back at the video shop. Right?
I think so.
Okay. So we'll start with Trevor and Maxwell. You guys hop into the Subaru Impreza, I think is what we agreed it was.
Hatchback screen.
The hatchback.
They're hard to find. It's important. Yeah,
of course, we'd have a Subaru in the middle of fuck all nowhere. Of course, that makes sense.
It was my mom's.
Amy has one too. It's the token lesbian car.
It's
It is
true.
important. So Maxwell will hop into the passenger seat and kind of shove his giant backpack between his legs, and just say, "Hey, sorry, man. I think you're right. I think we did probably go to school together. I just had a rough couple of years those last couple of years." I
Don't even sweat it.
Maxwell, by the way. I don't think I said that.
Oh yeah, I'm Trevor. That's me. That's my name.
Yeah, sorry, I don't remember much. But thanks for the ride.
Yeah, for sure.
What were you guys doing back at the diner?
It's like a book club. I do it because like I go to community college and like I'm supposed to do extracurricular stuff. With the
Okay.
baseball team. So like I'm supposed to read these books. They pick these like long books with no pictures, and they expect me to read them. Luckily, there was a movie of this one.
What were you reading?
The Stepford Wives.
I think my mom read that a couple years ago, but I don't know. I never touched the thing.
Yeah, it's dense. A lot of words. And then I'll drive out of the parking lot. Where am I going? Max?
I live down at the apartments down across from the Pine Street, just
Sure.
6
for
blocks
sure.
that way or so. And so he'll just kind of lead you to these grimy apartments that on the outskirts of town, and they're the most generic apartments you can probably find, and you can tell that Max and his mom aren't doing too well for themselves. But he will thank Trevor and head out the door.
Sure thing, dude. Be safe.
Yeah, I mean, from the sound of it, you too, I guess. I don't know. Things don't normally go this bump in the night.
Yeah, I mean, just don't take any more weird envelopes from anybody, maybe, huh? Like, I'm trying. It's a joke. Don't mind. Like, I'm not being serious. I'm trying to infuse some levity into the situation.
Yeah, right. Sorry. Yeah, just
All good.
long night.
No
long
sweat.
long night.
Take care, man.
And Maxwell will awkwardly wander into his apartment building.
So, Maxwell, are you just heading up to your apartment?
So,
Just stopping to
Max.
grab the mail or anything?
I think he'll like stick his fingers into the little slot where the mail guy leaves the mail before heading up to his apartment that he shares with his mom.
Okay, so you will, sitting on your doorstep, see a small box.
I don't remember ordering anything, and he'll just pick down. He'll pick up the box. He'll unlock the door. He'll sling the box and the backpack onto the table by the door. He'll check in on his mom, who is hooked up to all kinds of medical equipment, and she's asleep in bed. And so he'll head into the bathroom first and take a shower, because he has not done that since his shift. So he probably won't get back to the box until 20 to 30 minutes later.
Okay. Yeah, as you get done with your shower, head back towards where you kind of toss the box off to the side. Your mom kind of wakes up. Maxwell, did my package arrive? I had ordered something off the television the other night.
Oh yeah. I think I saw it. Give me 1 sec. He'll run into the living room, grab the box off the table, and kind of place it on her bed next to her.
And she will start to open the box. As she does, it is a small rectangular object inside. Nothing too crazy about it. It's just a simple kind of box. Kind of clicks it around a little bit. It opens up and you see her put a small canister into it. She kind of recloses it and she holds it up and she goes, Maxwell, look at this amazing thing that I found. It was on the television the other night. I ordered one, and she'll kind of show it to you.
Mom, you know you shouldn't be buying things on TV. Come on, we barely are scraping by as it is. But
I know, honey, I know, but it's supposed to help me, feel better, and maybe some of these machines and all of this stuff that I'm hooked up to can, maybe one day be gone. It's a miracle cure from what I've heard. I donated extra money to make sure that I got the top tier package.
Mom, you know that stuff is all garbage. What did you buy?
And you'll see her kind of look at you a little bit confused. Well, I don't quite remember. I don't quite remember the name. And you'll see her kind of fidget with it. And it'll sound as she kind of clicks it into place. You'll hear just a light as something escapes the top of the box.
Max is gonna grab the box from the side of the bed and rifle through the plastic and the junk that's inside of it and try to find the operating instructions.
Yeah. So as you do that, you're kind of tearing into it. You see a small placard card. Um, Again, kind of very nicely made. It has the hidden potential letterhead on it, the logo. And on the card, it says, for wellness and well being, for peace and for care. And then it has kind of photo instructions on how to insert a canister in, as well as a small package of about 5 or 6 more canisters.
What is even in this stuff, Mom?
Oh, I was told it was all organic and holistic. It's supposed to be very healthy.
Mom, holistic just means fake. Come on.
I just thought maybe it would be, helpful, and it might take some stress off of you for taking care of me so much.
No, come on. You need to rest up a bit. You have not been feeling well, and he's gonna grab the box. He's gonna put it on her nightside table. She's gonna kind of pull up the comforter and tuck her in, and turn off the TV screen. Move the remote just slightly out of her reach, so she can't get any more ideas, and just like check all of her medical equipment.
Yeah. So everything for the most part looks as you know it to look. Nothing changing necessarily. Are you heading to sleep?
Yeah, he probably will like grab the remainders of the box and whatever else is like rattling around on the bottom, and like take one of the canisters out before he leaves, just to see if he can if there's any ingredients on it, and he'll turn off the lights as he goes back into his own bedroom. His bedroom is probably just like a portion of the living room that he's curtained off, but he falls asleep. He like sits down on one of his on a single bed, and takes off his big clunky black watch, and as he does, he like closely inspects this little canister as much as he can. If there's any other if there's any ingredients listed on it, like what is the liquid or whatever it is inside look like, or is it completely sealed up?
It is a completely cylindrical item. It is pretty sealed. There is a small hole that looks as though when you pop it into place, it kind of punctures it. You don't necessarily see an ingredients list, but kind of I will say, on that little placard on the back, you can see that there are different, they'll call them oil blends.
So this is just like, what's it called? Essential oil nonsense?
It's an MLM.
The true horror.
Max will kind of shove all this stuff back in the box and push it into the corner. And because he doesn't really know what this organization does, and the box he just assumes is just like an air freshener, he'll go to bed.
Okay. So I'll hop back to the rest of the team. Trevor, are you heading back towards the video shop?
I am gonna go to Taco Bell. I am definitely gonna go to Taco Bell before I head back, and I'll probably just grab a bunch of stuff for everybody.
Cool. Well, how about the rest of you guys? What are you up to?
Focusing on these documents, so Amy has an ability that she doesn't realize she has, magic that I rolled when we were rolling up the character.
Yes.
A spell called Deciphering Gaze. She just focuses on this real hard, trying to make sense, heads and tails, of what she's seeing and what may have been crossed out.
Yeah. So do you have to, and I'm going to ask this because I don't remember seeing it when I was reading, do you have to roll against anything for your spell to work, or does it automatically work? I'm okay either way.
I think it said it was up to the Game Master.
All right. I'll say it.
Yeah, no, it's only if it's in danger, but it just happens. It's only if it's in danger that you roll to see if something else happens as well.
Okay, cool. All right. Yeah, so you are looking through this, and somehow, yeah, like you kind of said, you're not entirely sure how or why it happens, but the words kind of start, you can peer a little bit easier through this like redacted text. And maybe it's all the time spent in front of various archived documents. It is, as you start reading through it, kind of what looks to be a history of hidden potential. It looks as though it is a book, and there are even some, I would venture to say, or use the phrase, guidelines might be the best word, as to people that they are looking for. A specific type of person. So it lists people with, like that are very ill in health, people that are not able to make their own decisions for themselves, people that modern day society probably would not trust them to make decisions for themselves and would have somebody doing that for them.
I'll pass some of these pages to Betty. Look, it's a history. There's guidelines here of people they're looking for.
Like to recruit?
I guess, yeah. Hold it just right in the light. If you get it at the right angle, you can read it.
Can I?
Know that you
I think I probably can't because I'm not magic.
Yeah, Austin grabs it too and is just like,
So what
yeah,
I'm
but
saying
like clearly
is
can't
that
see it.
this is
Just
just like some cult shit, right?
I don't. It seems like it's corporate, but
Oh yeah,
know,
but look at
they're-
Scientology.
they're trying to get people who can't make their own decisions.
Hmm.
I will keep reading.
That sound healthy? I actually I want to try something. I want to like you keep on with that. I wish the baseball bat was still here. But I want to do something. Bear with me. She's gonna reach into her handbag, pull out her little taser, put that on the table in front of her just in case. Pull out her phone, put that on the table in front of her. And I have a contact who is Big Dave, who is a conspiracy theorist who uses the library. We're pals. We share views about, black helicopters and so on. And I want to phone him up and ask him, like, what have you heard about these people?
Yeah, so I would venture to say it's probably the middle of the night now.
But he's a conspiracy weirdo. Of course he's awake.
So it's good.
All the weirdest shit happens after midnight.
It's time for fourth
It is
meal.
3 a.m. for me.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah.
So you call Dave and he answers a little bit gruff at first. Maybe he was, in the middle of reading a strange article he had found somewhere on the internet. Yeah, Betty, what do you need? What can I do for you?
So, those, potential people in the compound outside of town?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So, you know about cults and stuff, right?
A little bit, yeah.
Are they a cult? Are they, like... What have you heard? Because, I heard they're trying to, I don't know, recruit people and unlock their psychic potential or something, and it all sounds a bit fucking... It all sounds a bit like if you trace things back, at the end of the day, it's the CIA octopus behind it all. So, what? You had to check. What's up with them?
So he'll get kind of quiet on the phone, and in true conspiracy theorist fashion, well, you are somewhere safe where you can talk about this, right? I've heard a handful of things.
Yeah, I'm safe.
Okay. Well, I have heard that They are known for, well, sending things out into the community. This is what I found by doing some of my research. You know, people receive their packages, they ship them all over, and then after some time, you know, things start to change with them. I don't know what kind, I've never seen it, but I don't know what kind of change.
So they've got like a recruitment. When you say things, do you mean like what? Like books, drugs?
Well, that part I'm not exactly sure of yet. I haven't gotten my hands on one that I've seen in real life. This has all been third or fourth hand from you know, what I found around the internet.
Do you reckon they're connected to anyone, or are they like doing this themselves?
That I don't know yet, but if you have any information, I'd love to take it down so that I can start kind of exploring it. And you can hear him shuffling things around in the background, you know, kind of grabbing for a notebook probably.
Yeah. So I'll be in like 11 in the morning tomorrow. Be there. I think I've got some cool stuff for you.
Great. Can't wait to hear about it.
Yeah. But yeah, phones. So, you know, I'll see you. We can go into the break room. I can pretend you're up stuff. And yeah, good. Stay safe, man. I'll see you soon.
You too. Stay safe. And he'll hang up.
I'm going to start photocopying shit.
Okay. All right. You're successfully making copies of the entire history of Hidden Potential. You don't quite know that's what it is, but that is what it is.
Okay. This is a terrible idea and I love it.
Yeah. So you guys spend the rest of your evening, I would say, probably reading through this text and maybe trying to get some shut-eye, waking up in the morning, going about your day. Did you all stay there? Did you head home? We're all going to wake up in the morning.
I definitely stayed there, probably doing different pinboard stuff with the notes that we take.
Okay. Connecting the dots.
Yeah, I think so.
I would have had to go home. Addie was working late, but she would be home eventually, so I would need to be there. But I'd come back early the next morning before I had to be at the archives.
All right.
I probably fell asleep after eating way too much Taco Bell in the
Sure.
video store.
Sure.
Yeah.
So Maxwell, that leaves you. You're the only one. So as you wake up in the morning, you kind of groggily open your eyes, and for the first time in a very, very long time, you can tell me how long, your mother is standing in the kitchen and she is making you breakfast.
I think, because I said it was kind of this little curtained off area, I'd say that Max hears someone is in his kitchen and will freak out first. He'll run to the bedroom to check on his mom, see that she is not there, freak out some more, and sprint into the kitchen wielding like a pen, like the closest thing he could find to like a knife. He was like, "How dare you!" And so he'll walk into the kitchen like, "Who the fuck, Mom?" And it's been like, his mom went into a mysterious coma when he was like 16, and ever since she woke up from that, has been completely bedbound. And he, because like the pen just like slips out of his hand, and what, Mom?
And she will turn to you. Honey, look, I told you, the package that I got, they said that it would be fast, that I would be healed. When I talked to them on the phone when I was doing the ordering, here I've made you some waffles. Sit down, have a seat, here. And she'll kind of like set everything down in front of you. And as she goes to hand you your plate, and underneath her wrist, you will see kind of just something move under her skin, just in the slightest little bit. And then she'll just set your plate down and turn back and start making more waffles in a little waffle iron.
If he notices that, he's gonna immediately get up. He's gonna push the plate of waffles away, and just kind of go inspect her again, because, like just he'll turn her around so she's no longer facing the stove, and just like touch her face and like feel her neck and like check down her arms to see if he can like find this weird creepy crawly thing, or if it was just him being overtired.
Yeah, and as you do that, there's nothing. It is almost as if there is a paranoia that's kind of like coming over you. And it is a level of stress. Like, you are legitimately kind of paranoid at like what is happening to your mother, what you could have sworn you saw something. You don't know what it is.
I'm sorry. Fuck, Mom. No, you need to go see your doctor right away. Dr. Green is gonna need to see you. There's no way.
Oh yes, honey, I will. I'll call. He's going to be very happy. In fact, I think you took the rest of those canisters. Could I have them so that I can take them with me, so that he can start, maybe sharing this with other people who need it?
I don't know. Okay. And so, because he like is excited that his mom is better, but also terrified of what that means, he's gonna head back into his little side of the room, and just like in like a haze, he'll grab the rest of the box that the package came in, and he'll take one and slip it into his pocket while he's behind the curtain, and give the rest back to his mom. And he's gonna grab his bag from the table where he left it last night, and just like I gotta go. There's a training this morning. I'll see you later. Please go see Dr. Green. I'll call you a taxi later. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you. And she'll just go back to kind of cleaning up the kitchen and picking up some stuff around the house. As you walk out, you see her still moving. Where are you headed?
He doesn't know what the heck's going on. Like, he would normally have to drive his mom to the hospital, but he just needed to get out of there. And so the first person he thinks about is Trevor, because Trevor was like, hey, stay safe last night. And he was very confused by this sentiment. And so he's going to drive back to the movie store as quickly as possible. Well, drive back. He has to walk back.
Sure. It takes you some time, but you manage to make it back there. Keeping an eye out. As you are walking, do you stop anywhere on your way?
Probably not.
No?
Kind of the he's in that mindset of like, he forgets to eat because he's so stressed out, and like he's a very one-track mind, and so he might like be looking everywhere, because at this point the like events of last night have just kicked back in, and he remembers all like the weird shit and the eye moving that he saw last night that he thought was just like stress induced. So he'll be like, every person who like walks by him on the street, he'll like look at them for a second and like be a little paranoid as he walks downtown, but eventually get to the movie theater and just like like scans the whole parking lot to check that those weird trucks aren't still around.
Yeah, so you don't see necessarily any of the trucks, but as you're walking, even quickly glancing, your experience at this point, and even with the addition of this new kind of paranoid feeling of like, what is going on? Something is happening. You start to notice that you see the same person multiple times, almost to a point where you don't know how they could get from one place to the other so quickly. They are wearing the same outfit. So you're seeing kind of like knee-high boots with like kind of like a tanned leather, some blue jeans, a nice cowl neck sweater, and like a little flannel tossed over it. But you're seeing this person over and over again.
I'm just going to say, this is just you, Chrissy. You've described yourself.
It's true.
As I get to like one of the corners, as I'm waiting for the crosswalk, if I watch one of these duplicates, do they act strange? Do they disappear and reappear or anything like that?
They're not disappearing and reappearing. You can just see them interacting like very nicely with people. Oh, how are you? You look beautiful today. I haven't seen you since high school. You know, I'm part of this new thing. I don't know if you've heard about it. Let me show it to you. And they're kind of like standing there with little pamphlets.
Oh God, it is an MLM. Sorry, out of character. You were saying.
And they are kind of showing people, and look at this amazing thing. It's just done wonders for my skin. And it has just given my life this amazing revitalization.
Chrissy, do I feel any side effects from being in like the same room as this, or being in the same apartment as this weird device that I can recognize, or not really?
I will say that you definitely feel as though like something is happening to you, but you don't quite know what, and you can't quite put your finger on it. But now that you're seeing the way that people are acting, there's like a part of you that does feel compelled to like maybe take the canister out of your pocket, maybe put it on like a nice necklace so that it's around your neck and you can smell it all the time. Like you have this strange compelling nature to be around like the smell of the scent that was in your apartment with Mom.
Having that kind of slight realization as he's walking, he's going to kneel down on the ground, grab the canister from his pocket, and then grab some bandages from his bag and wrap it up so he can't, like, he's not tempted to use it or anything, and like grab the little tape and just run it around 3 times and like shove it into the back of his bag, and he will walk double time to get to the apartment, Jesus, to the movie store.
Sure. And you make it there.
He's not even sure people will be there, but he's like, this is the last place I saw them. They saw weird shit too.
Absolutely. Yeah. And you make it there just fine. And you see Trevor waking up, probably half, groggily reaching for a leftover taco. Whatever's happening.
Hey,
I think you see us also like posting all this stuff, like still back at it.
See Austin pulling strings from one thing to another.
Hey, Trevor, are you? Trevor, I'm sorry to wake you. Is is anyone else here with you?
Yeah, I assume Austin's here. He wouldn't leave me here alone. I don't work here.
Poke my head.
Austin is
here too.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's here.
Yeah, I reckon Becky stayed on the sofa. I reckon she's not walking home by herself tonight.
So he's going to kind of turn around. He's going to grab the open sign and put it back onto closed, and I don't even know if you turned it last night. You may have been up all night anyway. But he's gonna pull on the blinds and like close the blinds in front of the door, and just plonk his backpack into a table and rip open the zipper, and he's gonna pull the little package of bandages out, put it onto the table, and just say, "Something is fucking wrong with this town."
Oh yeah,
Those-
most definitely.
Bandages.
That is something in the bandages. I promise you, it's dangerous.
Bleeding
What?
because of the. Is it like
No.
Body
No.
parts?
So it's a little well, it's a little canister thing, and so like my mom, she has been in bed for 3 years now. Yeah, and so she cannot walk. She is very sick, and so she used this thing from that place in town, Hidden Potential. That thing
from the black site.
The what?
The black site.
The weird building.
Yeah.
outside of town.
The weird that place, the hidden whatever. The like and so she bought something from them, and now she's healthy again and up and walking, and I don't know. I saw a lot of weird shit on the way here. I don't know. I don't even know who you guys are, really. Sorry, Trevor. I barely paid attention to biology, but like,
Me either.
come on. I don't know what's going on, but something weird happened last night, and I don't like it.
I mean, something weird definitely happened.
What
for
was?
Sure.
Did you ever read the weird folder thing?
Yeah.
I can read.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems to be a history of the hidden potential.
Sorry.
There's-
Every time Trevor says I can read, it's too much.
Look,
There's so much in here. There are even guidelines about kinds of people they're looking for. People who can't get around on their own, who can't make decisions legally. They're preying on people for something.
But like, it like worked. It did something. That's not medicine.
So, Amy, as you are reading through this and you've spent the whole night kind of combing through this book and learning this history and the whole 9 yards, towards the back of it, kind of folded and shoved down, it was like kind of uncomfortably pushed down to the bottom of that manila envelope. There looks to be a kind of, I would say like a little chart of what looks to be passwords and passcodes and maybe something that was grabbed in haste and kind of shoved into this envelope as well.
I'll hand this over to Betty, since she seems to have the best idea of what might be going on. This looks like passwords, maybe?
Okay. So, like, maybe. Do you reckon this will get us in? Like, do you reckon there's going to be, like, the keypads we can just ding, 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 get in?
What?
Max, why are you like? If she's walking around, that's good, right? What's weird about that?
She shouldn't. I mean, she shouldn't be like that was like an air freshener that like gave her mobility back. Like, she's on like 6 different medications and like 3 different monitors. She barely
And
is
the
awake
aromatherapy
6 hours of a
cure
day.
Nerve damage. Yeah.
But like, I don't know what happened. Like, that shouldn't have happened. And you're gonna think I'm crazy. You are, but there was like the guy last night. He had like an eye on his forehead, and like there was something crawling in my mom's skin, and I don't think she's my mom anymore. Like I don't know.
Crawling in her skin?
Like a parasite.
Ugh.
And you brought that here?
No,
That's why it was wrapped up, right?
it's just like it was like a room diffuser. Like it
Humidifier?
it's something like it's a little thing that she put into a box, and like I don't like it's just like some weird bullshitty thing that did actually do something, and I don't know, it like calls to me. Like I put it in there because I didn't want it to like get to me, you know?
No.
Fuck. And so Max is just kind of like he's gonna grab his backpack but leave the like thing there and just kind of be like, just be careful, you know?
You've heard about like the whole MK Ultra thing, right? Where the CIA were running around just dosing people up with LSD to see if they could unlock the hidden potential of the human mind.
You think I'm high?
No,
Are
I
you?
think you've been drugged. I think like there was this stuff in the air and you breathed this in and now it's doing shit to you both.
Whatever it is, it's not good.
Because like it's like you said, you're feeling like compelled, yeah?
Like I don't know, like brainwashed almost.
Yeah, that's what they do. That's what they do to you, man.
So, Amy, how in touch with the arcane are you?
I don't think much at all. This was the little bit that she has is she doesn't even realize that's what it is. She's just good at deciphering documents.
Okay. So as you are sitting there and you're kind of combing through all of this, you find this small chart of what looks to be passcodes or whatever. The rest of the room, you guys kind of see Amy's eyes glaze over just a bit. And Amy, what you see is like a very quick burst, kind of like a vision of the same man in the diner. And he is very quickly pulling things and placing them together and looking around, and you can see he's very frantic, and he's in an all-white room. Everything looks very clean, very organized, and he is frantically moving and just very quickly. And from behind him, as he kind of looks over his shoulder, you see two women kind of walk into the room, and they look identical, and they kind of put their hands on their hips. Now, you know you shouldn't be in here. And then you kind of come back to the space that you're in without even realizing.
I probably dropped the folder that I have at that and kind of step back for a second. That was weird.
Oh God, has it gotten to you too?
It was
No,
weird.
when I pulled out this chart, I saw something. The guy from yesterday. I saw him grabbing these from a room, and there were two women there who looked exactly like the same, acting like you said.
Wait, the same?
Yeah, they looked exactly the same.
There were multiple people. I thought I was just seeing things, but there are multiple people out there who couldn't possibly be the same person. I'm sorry, it doesn't make any sense. I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm sorry.
Just seeing things now. Can we get that canister out of here in case it's affecting all of us?
Fuck it, yeah. I don't know if he wanted to like look at it or something like. And so
I reckon we want to, like, if we're going to look at it, we take it outside so it, like, diffuses into the air rather than being, like, an enclosed.
good idea.
Yeah.
So in his backpack, he has some of his EMT supplies, and he has a couple face masks in there. Some like N95s type shit, I'm sure, or whatever the 2000s version of that is. And so he's going to grab one of those out and put it on as he heads out the door and slowly unwraps this weird canister thing.
Yeah.
So as you guys do that, Austin, what are you up to?
So I would probably have been checking the back as they're starting to grab the things. I'm realizing more and more that where I was joking about things going sideways, I am starting to believe things are starting to go sideways. Especially seeing my friend Amy with the eyes gloss over. And I think I'm going to go check the back to make sure it is locked. Austin
Is
very
locked.
good about locking.
Yeah. So you're going to head towards the back door. Everyone
Yeah.
else is heading out the front door?
Yeah.
Or are you all heading out the back door? Okay.
I'm picking up papers and that. I don't want to be around that canister after I got a vision. I don't know what it came from.
Okay. So for Austin and Amy, you guys are kind of in a little bit closer vicinity. Austin, as you kind of head to that back door and you are like making sure, just double checking the locks are locked, kind of peering out the door first, you see kind of in like a back alleyway, and they appear to kind of be walking aimlessly, but it is a woman in some brown knee-high boots, some straight leg jeans with like a flannel shawl over top, very well coiffed hair,
God.
and just kind of like walking through. Oh no, you're muted.
Door's locked. I lift there's like a covering for the window, and I lift the thing and I see that, and I instantly take the Polaroid camera that I used to take a picture of Max earlier and just hold it up and click it. It does flash.
Okay.
But you just hear the Polaroid starts to come out. And I'm like, and I close it back down.
Okay, yeah. So for those of you who are in the front, you head out the front door. Maxwell starts unraveling all of his kind of like taped up contraptions around this canister.
Mm-hmm.
When you finally get it open, you see exactly what Maxwell saw last night. It has a small kind of nib on the top that looks as though it has to be punctured by something.
Mhm.
And it is just a cylindrical canister.
Max has a kind of like a pocket knife in his bag, and he's gonna root around and find it, and he's gonna very carefully put it on the ground and like puncture the top with the knife, just to see if anything comes out of it.
Okay, so who all is out there with you?
I believe it's just me and
Betty?
I think so. I'm not sure what Trevor's doing right now.
I'm calling my cousin Ricky.
Right. Yep.
And seeing if he's at work today.
Yeah, so do you call him on a cell phone, or you call him
I
at his
pull out
home?
my flip phone and I call his cell phone, which is the same. We're on the same family plan. So he has the same phone. It's like a it's like a Nokia.
Sure. Yeah. You call, and he has like a really cool ringback tone, since it's like the early 2000s when those were popular. It is, something.
It's
But-
Blink 182 roller coaster.
That's it. Perfect. So you listen to Blink 182 for a while, and he doesn't answer. When he finally does, what you hear is just pockets. and then kind of a, I want to say like a clicking.
Huh. That's weird. I won't read too into that. And then I'll snap my phone shut and be like, hey, must be busy.
Okay. So
he's
for those
supposed
of
to
you,
be at work.
yeah, he is.
Huh.
You do know that he is supposed to be at work.
Dun,
So
dun,
for
dun.
the two people outside, Maxwell, as you puncture the top of this, nothing appears to happen. You can't hear anything. You can't smell anything necessarily immediately. You have a mask on,
Mhm.
right? You said?
Yep.
But Betty, you definitely smell something.
I'm just gonna kind of have my shirt over my face. That doesn't help, does it?
Well, I'll say it helps for a second. If you hang out there for a while, it might not. But for the most part, yeah, it seems to be okay right now for you. Or at least you think so.
Okay. I'm gonna go like just kind of poke the canister, give the rattle, see if there's anything in it.
You just hear like a metal, like marble inside of it. Like kind of dink, 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 dink.
This is like made of metal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh god, I wish I had power tools. I want to open this up. I guess just like let it all out into the environment and hope the wind blows it away.
Okay.
Like, whatever it is, it's very, very sinister and hope.
Okay. So you guys, you try for a little while and it kind of cracks open. Smashing it on the curb or stomping on it or whatever you're trying to do, or whatever you and Maxwell come up with together to
hit
try
it with
to
a brick.
Hit it with a brick. And the same thing, it's just a lot of hissing and then and you see what looks to be like an explosion of little spores.
Oh, fuck no. And Max will, like, bat them out of the way and, like, walk back.
Just going to scoot backward as fast as I possibly can, hold my breath. Fucking CIA.
Yeah. So, Betty, I will say, as you are kind of trying to back up and get yourself out of the way, you just kind of trying to hold your breath, trying to navigate around. Suddenly, there is just a level to your mentality, and I don't want to say you're kind of like losing it, but like it's one of those feelings of like, oh no, I definitely just got in touch with something I should not have. This is bigger than me. I should not have done that. That might have been a mistake, and you're kind of starting to panic a little bit.
If this is a character who has done a lot of psychedelics in her time, does this feel familiar? Or is it...
I will say that it feels similar to that experience where you feel out of body, but I don't want to use the phrase less enjoyable because that is a strange way to put this, but like less enjoyable than psychedelics.
It's like drugs, but not the good shit.
Yeah, it's kind of like
it's not fun.
If you've ever had a bad trip, you're kind of entering into that space of like, oh no, things are closing in around me. Bad idea, shouldn't have done that sort of territory. And you definitely have the understanding that this is not natural in the way that you know of things to be natural.
Okay, back indoors. Is there like a inn we can chuck this in?
Yeah, guys could definitely toss it into a garbage can.
Hey, Maxwell, have you got a lighter on you?
Probably why.
Because, see, I have this little can of, unrelated, I have this little can of wonderful spray paint. And I want to burn that shit if it's still in the air.
He'll root around and probably find one way at the bottom of his bag.
Like, this is like how you would decontaminate, right?
No.
Yeah, we don't have, hazmat suits and radiation, so we can just... Shh.
You lighting up the sky then?
What?
Is Betty lighting up the sky?
Yeah, Betty is burning that shit just in case it helps.
Okay.
Aerosol lighter.
Just a flamethrower-esque.
Yep.
Right at it. Okay.
Yep.
And you can, when you do that, you can actually hear. I'm gonna say what sounds like small. I don't want to say screams, but kind of like that sound of air escaping things, of that like kind of like hissing sort of sound. And I think on that note, we'll take another quick break.
Okie doke.
Welcome back. As we left, we had Betty and Maxwell torching a small canister, hearing some things catching ablaze. And I think the rest of you were inside taking photos and kind of panicking a little bit.
Mayhem ensues.
I can't get a hold of my cousin Rick.
Hey guys, I got some pictures.
Of what?
Pictures of what?
There's like it's this girl out there and she's like sort of just walking around. It's weird. Like we're taking pictures of weird stuff now, and I hold it up to Amy.
I do like that I never explained what the multiple woman looked like, but you were like, that's a weird woman, take a photo.
Well, it definitely was like a woman in an alleyway that is for sure out of place.
Yeah, like,
so it makes sense.
Stalking.
Like weirdly walking or something, and I was like,
Does she look like the women I saw in the vision?
She absolutely does.
It's one of the women I saw in the vision.
like out back.
No, the one of the guy in the diner when he was grabbing all the records. That was one of the women.
Well, she's out
Both
back.
the
like,
women.
I only saw one, but she's like out back in the alleyway, sort of like walking around.
How thick's that door?
Not very thick. It's
Yes.
definitely no.
So, Maxwell and Betty, are you guys still outside?
Yeah, I'd say about that time in the conversation is when they will hear a as Betty lights shit on fire.
Yeah, so the three of you that are inside definitely hear kind of like a small explosion kind of sound in the front.
The hell?
As you see Betty and Maxwell setting a blaze.
Hell yeah. I grabbed the bat from by like the couch and like now I got it.
Yeah.
Fuck,
Excalibur.
Betty, that was so cool. I know we're in trouble, but
Right?
god damn.
I mean, like, you pick up these things when you're convinced the police are going to black bag you one day. Sorry. Yes. Spores. Horrible, horrible spores that I've been breathing in.
Do you feel okay?
You ever done salvia?
Definitely not. No.
No, okay. So I was going to say, have you ever done salvia? That you've ever done salvia, like when it's been a terrible, terrible day and you just want to cry beforehand, so it's not a fun time? Imagine that, but when you've got the caffeine jitters.
What?
So
You know.
as you say this, coming around kind of literally what sounds like peeling around the corner is one of those black kind of Denali Yukons. They kind of come screeching around, and you see the back end of the truck fishtail a little bit, and they look to be coming directly for Maxwell and Betty, kind of skidding to a stop. You see two men get out of the car, and they are coming for you.
Oh, hell no.
I know I'm not supposed to do this, but I'm going to grab Betty's wheelchair and get the fuck out of Dodge.
Yeah.
So I hope she doesn't. I hope she doesn't have her brake on.
I'll kick open the door
Yeah.
to the video store with the bat, and I'll be like, "Get inside,"
Mhm.
and then I'll shut the door behind me as I walk up to these
Yeah.
idiots with this baseball bat.
So you're gonna push them inside, and you're gonna walk outside?
Yeah.
Okay. So these two gentlemen are speed walking towards you, and they definitely at their hilt have their hands on what looks to be some sort of weapon.
What's up, my dudes? You returning some tapes?
And yeah, young man, we're gonna need the two beings that just released. Yeah, this is beyond what you need to be dealing with, and he's gonna attempt to walk past you into.
I'm gonna like hold the bat up and like just be like, "Nah, man, I don't think so." Like, what are you like, cops? What's going on?
And
Austin,
go ahead.
I'll say Austin will be at the door at this point for sure too, having seen Betty and Maxwell come quickly inside.
Okay.
I'm shoving the folder in under the cushions of the couch that Betty had slept on.
Okay.
This is a video store. We're a book club. Like, whoa. Like, come on. Let's just calm down.
Yeah. We had gotten notification that one of our canisters had been detonated. Excuse me, and he's going to attempt to again push past you. Now I'm going to ask for my knowledge. For starting combat, they are going to start and kind of not necessarily go to hit you, but push you out of the way to get through the door.
Boo.
There is no weapon, and they're not necessarily like attacking you, but they are definitely
I'm gonna let the one that pushes me past, and then I'm gonna swing his back at the back of his knees.
okay.
That's a straight.
Is this where we have to start rolling shit now?
Oh, right on 12 on 12.
Okay. Yeah.
Wouldn't
So
that just be straight damage?
It's just straight
yeah,
damage.
it is. Everything hits. Yep.
And that's a 6.
Okay. So he buckles, and his buddy pulls out, and it starts to kind of cock a weapon, holding
Whoa.
it directly at you. But when you look at it, it does not necessarily look like a gun. It looks more like a taser.
Whoa, don't chase me, bro.
That was good. That was good.
And I'll like move and then try and swing at this guy, like bring the bat down on his arm now that it's extended.
Okay.
That's a 1 and a 2 for damage.
Okay. So he is the one whose knees are buckled, and he is down on the ground. He's not going to move. He can't move. That hit was solid enough to where his knees are done for. But he is now fidgeting quickly, trying to get to some sort of communication device, a phone, something.
Oh, come on, man. Hey, do you know my
I
cousin
tase
Ricky?
Trevor is the most chill guy while he kneecaps a guy. For fuck's sake, I think he might be a psychopath.
He is a baseball player.
I'm not all there. Yeah, I'll just he's gonna go for like a phone.
Yeah.
I'll just the guy on the ground.
Yep.
I'm gonna step on his hand.
Okay. And he will just sit there. Are you attempting to like break the hand, or are you just
No, I
standing
just want
on
him
it
to
so he
not
can't die?
grab the phone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm like, hey, like, listen, I tried to be like nice, but you can't come after my friends with guns, tasers. What are you, cops? Like, what is happening here? It's really early. I ate a lot of tacos.
So he will.
Trevor might think he's just having a like taco like coma right now. Like this could be all be a taco dream.
So the other gentleman who's one of his wrists is broken is still reaching for his comm, because there were the two guys. So he's going to very quickly, you see, as he's kind of just like walking, pulling up a walkie, mumbling something into it, and then heading back towards the car, leaving his buddy.
And he's not registering pain at all. Like, I broke his wrist.
He does not appear to be.
That'll hit. Like that now it's hitting me. Like, okay, now this is weird. Like those dudes should be upset that I broke them. Okay. I'll like run back inside to be like, to get the hell out of here.
Okay. Yeah. So you guys, for those of you who are inside, you see all of this happening. The guy whose knees are done for is left there, as if like the collateral damage on that does not matter. And the other guy is kind of like, I gotta get back to where I was heading to.
I think that bought us a minute.
Who was
so we
that?
get in someone's car and go somewhere else?
Yeah, we should
I never
probably leave.
asked.
Oh, I definitely take the cassette that is recording the security footage from the front, and I take that out so there's no footage of what just happened in front of the store.
Man.
Sure.
Yeah, we should go.
Mm-hmm.
Text Big Dave to say that I have spooks after me and won't be able to meet him today.
Sure, yeah. You guys
Big
tell everyone
Dave.
you need to.
Austin, I'm gonna throw my keys to you, and then I'm gonna go and grab this other guy's taser thing. It's like gun
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah.
I pull the car up around.
Thank you. This thing's weird. And
Yeah,
it's
so-
like one of the yellow gun ones.
Yep, it's one of the yellow gun ones.
Chrissy, Maxwell is going to take out his phone and quickly dial his mom to see if she is safe.
Yeah, she will answer the phone. She sounds bright and bubbly and very fine.
Mom, you need to throw out that thing you bought last night. It's not safe for you.
Hey, no, I actually think that I might call up my aunt. You do remember Aunt Sally? She was very sick before. I think this might help her as well. If we could get more people onto this, I think.
No, Mom!
I feel like maybe we have the ability to change the world.
Who's we?
All of us, dear. All of us. You sound upset. You should come home. I'll make you something. I'll make you something to eat. And
In the
and
middle
we'll
of a
relax.
sentence, Max will turn off the phone.
I think it's your mom, dude.
They've gotten to her. She's not my mom anymore. She's changed. She's them.
I hold out the picture. Does she look like this? Knowing that we're on the phone and you wouldn't know.
Fuck off, dude.
I turn the car and start revving the engine. Let's get in now.
So,
Hey,
I
don't
got a question.
rev it too hard, though.
What are we gonna do with like kneecap dude.
Just leave him.
Before getting in the car, if he's like, is he incapacitated?
His knees are broken.
But is he awake?
Yes.
Is he shouting at us?
No, he does not appear to be. While his knees are completely shattered and he cannot move, he does not appear to be registering in pain. He is not shouting. He is not writhing. He is literally kind of just sitting there.
Max will go over to the body I say, the man, and kind of root around in his pockets, grab whatever, like, I don't know if he has a key card or some keys or other weapons that he's been hiding, any other paperwork or something in his front pocket, but he's gonna grab anything he can find.
Yeah, so you reach in, you do find a key card, you find a couple of different like canisters in a belt loop, kind of in like a little holster. And as you kind of reach down, he's going to grab a hold of your wrist, and very quietly in your ear, Maxwell, he'll whisper, "They've already gotten to you. It's fine."
Max,
and then he'll let go of your arm.
Max will react kind of like a gut reaction and just kick him like in the stomach. Just get the fuck off of me, dude. And
I was gonna say, do you want to roll some damage on that?
I don't think I need to. It wasn't a damage roll. It was a fuck. Don't you fucking talk to me, bro.
Like a foot shove.
Okay.
And what was I gonna say though? But like as he like walks back to the car, that like phrase will like run through his head like 6 or 7 times, and he'll like struggle to get to stop thinking about it as he like falls into the back of the Subaru.
Okay.
I don't.
Hey, Austin. Does this place have like a dumpster out back?
Yeah, it definitely does. But like, that lady was back there. What?
Hmm.
what?
I mean, I can.
Can you lock your dumpster? Because like maybe you want to just like put this guy in there.
I'm gonna put a guy in a
That'll take
dumpster.
too long.
Jesus Christ,
Oh,
guys!
most
He'll
definitely.
find him. He'll be fine.
Yeah, I do. He jingles the keys.
But do we have that kind of time? I say as I'm wrapping a scarf around the bottom part of my face because I do not want Kneecap Guy to see me nor
Yeah, we
anyone
should
else.
bail.
He was
Yeah, we
calling
need to
back
just
up.
bail.
We need to get the fuck out of here, guys. He can sit on the ground for all I care. He's a creep.
Okay.
Gun it.
I put him
face down so he can't see what we're doing.
Actually, I have a body bag in the back.
You do in your items. I was wondering if that was going to come
hell
into
yeah.
play.
A promotional item for 90s slasher flick that I can't think of off the top of my head. But the bodies hit the floor, and then we put him in, drag him into the movie store, put him in the body bag, and lock the doors. I make sure the door is locked.
Put him in the window. He's a promotional display.
That's
Why
that's
do
a
you have a
promotional
body
item.
bag?
Promotional item. They sent it to every movie store, but they didn't give you anything to put it in, so it never made any sense until this
Yeah.
very moment.
You're just supposed to leave that. I don't care. Let's go.
Yes,
we gotta go.
for all the movie stores that have mannequins on display.
Give me my keys. Give me my keys back. If we got out of the car to put a guy in a body bag, give me my keys back.
So where are you guys heading? Everyone is in the car, situated?
Oh,
You
we
have-
are going to. I immediately start driving to Hidden Potential because I gotta
Okay.
find my cousin Rick.
Not
We're going
Rick.
there?
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, we're
track
going
these
there.
bitches down.
Like, hey, real talk. If you guys don't want to go to this place, I completely understand. I can drop you off, but I gotta find my cousin Rick. He's like a brother to me.
It's
I
like
pull
his
out-
family or something.
Yeah, he's like my uncle's son.
Hmm.
Literally.
Fuck it, I'm in.
I'm like, I'm in. I pull out the other promotional item I have, which is a knife replica from First Blood.
They just send this stuff to you?
Yeah, dude, it's bitching to work at a
In
video
the
store.
mail?
And yeah, in the early odds, it is bitching to work at a video store. You're right. And I'm breaking laws at this point.
Just hightailing it through town. Yeah. So as you guys are hightailing it through town, Amy, you're catching glimpses as you're just speeding past. I would say for every 5 people you see 2 of those same women that were from your vision. And they all kind of seem to be like doing the same things. There isn't too much differing from them. They're just walking, and if somebody will talk to them, they start chatting. But you guys are going so fast that you can't really tell anything at all, but you definitely recognize them. And then you guys make it to the front gate of Hidden Potential.
I'm driving through that gate. I'm not stopping.
Okay. So you guys blast through the gate of Hidden Potential. You
Okay,
make it in.
they're not gonna let us in.
Yeah, no, hey.
But we have the key code. We could just put the key codes.
This is faster.
But now they know we're here.
That they
Didn't
do.
they already know we're here? Oh, I kneecapped one of their
Why
dudes.
did I agree to this?
None of you agreed to this, so I just keep going.
So you guys get in, you steer the Subaru up, throw it into
It's a
park.
good car.
Yeah. Tokyo drifted around.
God, we're gonna die.
It's better than
And are
becoming
you
one
guys-
of those things.
Are you guys just running in, guns blazing? What are you guys up to?
Guns.
Oh, man,
Running?
yeah, I guess.
Does anyone have
Running? Come on.
Wait,
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. Does someone have guns?
No.
We have 2 tasers, bat, a
I'll
knife.
toss my taser to Anna.
I have
Amy,
I have
a taser.
You have
I
one?
I have a pocket knife and a bunch of drugs.
I have a taser.
I have a taser.
Can't be too careful.
Who doesn't have a taser? I'll just hold it out. Max, do you have like a defib, like paddle set?
Oh, but that one's like a gun, right? I
This
No,
one's
actually,
like
that-
a gun. Yeah.
That would be in the van.
I actually will take that one, so I don't have
Alright.
to get close to somebody.
And then I'll just get my bat because that works.
Sure.
I
And
do
I'll
like
pocket
that
a couple of baseballs as well.
I do like that you've given your character a legit reason why he has a baseball bat,
I'm
Yeah.
all state. I am all state. Like,
It's true.
and he can read.
I will show you. And he stares at the sign and like doesn't say anything for a second, and then looks back. I read that.
It's a one.
So,
Anyway.
you guys get in there, just, balls to the wall, I guess. Just
My cousin
18.
Ricky works the desk, so like he should be around here somewhere.
Yeah,
Max-
let's just go in like we're visiting.
We'll get out of the Subaru and be like, I don't know what the fuck you're planning, Trevor, because that was fucking wild. But I hope you got something.
A plan, anything.
I have a bat.
I think we just walk in the front door, and if anybody questions us, we say we thought that the gate was open.
Mm-hmm. We
We
know
were
secrets,
expecting
right?
it to be
Like,
automatic.
you know clandestine information. Do you have like a passcode or something we could just like a Croatoa type thing we can like just like secret handshake?
Just use the goddamn key card.
There you go.
He'll
I know anything
hold
from
it
the
in front
file.
of them.
Yeah. You guys get in the front door very easy. You walk in the front, kind of like foyer of Hidden Potential, and it is immaculate. From the outside, it looks like just a regular old warehouse. It doesn't have any major anything aside from like an insignia on the front. But once you get into the inside building, everything is very clean, polished, white, kind of like very smooth lines. Like it is a very modern and very clean facility, and you
Being
do
in an Apple
see,
store.
yeah, like an Apple store. And when you walk in, you do see a front desk where there should be an attendant sitting, but there is nobody. And as you guys kind of notice, there isn't any actual movement. Like, that doesn't sound like you can't hear anything, you can't see anybody.
I'm gonna call
It's even
Ricky's
weirder.
Okay, so you call Ricky's phone. He
phone.
answers.
Roller coaster. Like when
Yeah, he like answers, and you hear him.
Rick,
Trevor.
that's
Jesus
me.
Christ.
I'm Trevor.
Trevor. What? I cannot. I'm in the middle of, and you can hear stuff in the background. Kind of. I would say. I hate the word, but I'm going to use it. Like squelching. It's such a gross word. But kind of like squelching sounds in the background.
Bro,
Listen,
hey, Trev,
you
cousin.
need to get everybody out of this town. You need to call my father, and you need to get everybody out of this town. I
Uncle
cannot
Dave?
stress this enough. Jesus. Oh my God. And then phone cuts out dead.
Trevor, I'm here.
What did he say?
He told me to call my Uncle Dave. I'm not going to. He'll be pissed. Listen, something's wrong. We got to go deeper into the building, I guess, and find my cousin.
Does the front desk have like monitors with cameras for the cameras around?
Yeah, there does look like there is a bunch of monitors for cameras. You can.
Security cameras that we can see.
Mhm.
Just gonna spray paint over the lenses.
Okay. Yeah, also you can go ahead and do that. Now, Austin,
Betty and her ever important spray paint cans. I am loving this.
I've got like 3 items
She has
on
done
my
this
sheet.
before.
I'm gonna use them. Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is the first rodeo.
Yeah. Now, Austin, are you attempting to watch old security footage, or are you just trying to?
At first, I'm trying to look through the cycle to see is there anything I can see that looks relevant, currently live happening, with the cameras available.
With the cameras available, no.
Okay. So then
Amy,
I would.
as you're like looking over the shoulder, you recognize the room. You recognize one of the rooms as the one from your vision.
Well, that's the room I saw. That one where the guy from the diner was grabbing all these files.
So as we look at that, I think that if it's possible to rewind, I'd love to rewind that one and the front desk one.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna rewind.
I know you love rewinding. But
I
like,
did. That is canonical. I love me a rewind, and I'm gonna rewind. Spiral video, we always rewind.
Be kind.
Just, I think we need to hurry up.
Yeah, so you take a few minutes to rewind. How far are you rewinding back? How much time are you taking?
Till last night.
Okay. So you guys are watching as Austin, in his meticulous kind of eye for rewinding, making sure things are done precisely, you get to last night, and you start seeing in that room the gentleman from the diner, and he kind of busts into the room. He starts pulling things out of a desk, pulling things off of shelves, and he's stuffing them and kind of shoving them into an envelope. And as he's doing that, you see the 2 women walk up behind him. You cannot hear what they say, but you watch them kind of put their hands on their hips and kind of grin. And it looks a little bit creepier than it should. And kind of doing one of these. And
This
they
is exactly
kind of,
what I saw.
yeah, and their eyes flick to the camera. And you see him try to just run at them, and he's just kind of like haphazardly swinging his fists, kind of just trying to get through these 2 women. And he makes a good dent in a couple of them, like in the 2 of them, he makes a few connects. And as the women look back at the camera and they kind of make eye contact with the camera, they kind of like fold a flap of skin back up, and underneath you can see kind of like something moving underneath. but then they kind of like push it back up, and you see it kind of reform, and then the door is closed behind them, and it looks as though they are down the hall chasing after him.
I did not see that.
How do we feel seeing someone push their stuff back up?
I was just going to ask you. So I would say that as Austin, I don't know how you would feel because you are kind of used to watching weird movies and horror movies, but I don't know about Amy, right? Or anybody else?
Yeah, Amy is more fantasy than horror. So maybe not quite as much experience.
I'm not watching this. I'm waiting for someone to run down the hall at us. Like, I'm tense.
Yeah, I'm watching the door. I'm keeping guard.
Betty, what are you up to?
I reckon Betty's watching it, and I reckon Betty is not somebody who should watch that.
Okay.
Austin takes comfort in the fact that horror is fiction, and so is not actually readily at all prepared for horrific things in real life.
Okay. So I will say, like, seeing this, then you guys would definitely take some stress for this. I will say, so, and I'm going to ask really quickly, it is the D6 stress for the exposure because it is directly exposing you guys to the unknowable. So if you want to go ahead and roll a D6.
Yikes.
Oh, good. You can get anywhere from 1 to 6 stress all at once.
So I rolled a 1, but I have a necklace that Addie gave me that gives me +1 stability. So that means I take 0 stress,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
Awesome.
So you kind of hold on to it in an attempt to ground yourself to kind of like re-stabilize.
I rolled a 6 on 6 stress, and I have 6 HP, so that brings it exactly to 0, which means I have stress fallout. This does not go well for Austin.
Correct. Yeah.
It's real, man.
You know, it's not like the movies. It's not like the props
movie.
they send me.
So now, correct me if I'm wrong. I rolled the fallout table, right?
Yeah, you can either.
Okay.
It's either one, and it's either or. So for a one shot, it's just fun to have someone roll.
Yeah, go for it. Roll your stress fallout.
Okay. I rolled a 12. Neural superposition. You see images of unknown places superimposed onto this one, sometimes making it difficult to tell what is real. In another time, you may have been called an oracle. When you roll dex saves, roll 2d20 and take the lowest result. Once per day, you see something significant. So I start to see other planey kind of things at the same time. And it makes it hard to navigate.
Yeah, and I will say, as soon as you start to feel this effect take a hold, you kind of like close your eyes, shake your head a little bit, and as you look towards the hallway, that there is the one hallway down, you do see glimpses of just kind of a tunnel, or it looks like a hallway to everybody else, but to you it looks like a tunnel that is covered in just black moss, kind of like with creatures kind of like crawling out, large tentacles. You shake your head and it's gone, and you kind of like blink a couple of times, and you're definitely not sure, or struggling to tell if this is reality.
You okay, Austin?
No. We can't go down that hall. No, it's not safe, guys. No.
You know that thing that just happened to Austin?
Same thing?
Yep. Shall I go ahead and roll?
Yes, please. If you tell me the number, I can read it to you if you don't have the thing pulled up.
I have got a 19. This is something called the Hunt. My attacks are enhanced. I'm getting primal impulses. Critical damage mutilates my body, but I can continue to act. I become the primary target of otherworldly forces, and attacks made against me are enhanced. Hell yes!
Yeah, all right. So, yeah, you definitely are feeling just compelled to move forward. Whereas, like, Austin is saying, no, 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 we can't go down there. You feel a gut level need to go that direction.
I have a question. You know how I can keep going despite critical damage? Do I still need the wheelchair?
So, to be a little bit socially appropriate,
would I be capable of getting out of the chair and going, yes, this is absolutely ripping my body apart and I should not be doing this?
Yeah. So
but it's just pain.
Yeah, I will allow you to make that decision for your own character. As the DM, I don't think, or as the GM, I don't necessarily like the idea of taking someone's autonomy in that way where I'm like, oh, you were a wheelchaired person, I'm going to take that. So if you think that that's appropriate for how it's going to start changing your body, absolutely. You're welcome to change your own.
Like, I feel like she's still very disabled and kind of doing all those things where you know you shouldn't do them and this is going to hurt in the morning because acting despite the injuries. Is there a big heavy object that would be good for hitting people with in this room? Like a stool?
In this room, no, you have a chair.
Like a wheelchair?
I was just going to say you have a chair.
I might be about to hit a fucker with a chair.
Yeah.
Yeah, that fucking corridor. Let's fucking go.
Oh, yeah.
Austin, it looks empty. Why are you saying we shouldn't go down there?
It's not empty, and he's just like, he can't even put it to words. Just like the moss, but he's so scared that he won't be left behind. It's sort of that, like, because he looks behind him too, and I'm assuming he's seeing similar things.
Do you want to go to the car?
No. No. People
Be good
are
for
good.
ramming, but like we should go in. We should find the middle of all of this shit, and we are burning that.
Yeah, so he's gonna follow along.
It doesn't like fire.
I'm into it. Let's
All right.
roll.
Scooch along.
All right. So I'll say you guys head into this and seemingly no issues.
Mm-hmm.
You definitely make it through what feels like the maze of corridors and kind of like twisting and turning.
Still haven't like found someone.
Not quite. So as you guys are like making your way through, I will say, like, Austin, you keep getting glimpses absolutely of nothing that you have seen, even in movies, of just wild creatures and like seeing somebody who would kind of push their skin up kind of the whole 9 yards. It feels as though the deeper into this building, the heavier and denser that moss and thickness feels around you.
Yeah, so I would just be quietly under my breath, but enough that someone who was walking next to me could hear, just sort of talking about the things and like describing them. I'm hoping that to me saying them would help, but it doesn't. But not saying anything would even be worse because it's quiet as bad. So it's sort of that, like, he's in the middle of the pack muttering about these otherworldly things that he sees, as I'm assuming Betty's leading the charge.
Absolutely.
As I'm
Betty,
walking,
yeah, Betty wants to kill.
as I'm walking next to Austin, remembering what it felt like when I got that vision, if I reach out and touch his arm, does anything happen?
Yeah, so you kind of, you were able, Amy, to settle yourself a little as that all happened, like just kind of like realize like, okay, it's okay. And you reach out even to try to transfer some of that calmness or that like ability to recenter yourself to Austin, and as you do, yeah, you definitely get that kind of same vision that he is seeing. And you, with that spell that you were talking about earlier, that like connection to the arcane that you're not even really sure of, you start to realize like it's almost as if the things that are being seen are not real. The cleanness of the lines, the whiteness of the walls, everything just seems to be a little bit too perfect. And you definitely get a little bit of an understanding of what Austin is experiencing, but probably not quite to the extent, because his is a little bit more intense.
Yeah, I'll still jerk my hand back. Holy shit. He's right. This is all fake. None of this is right.
It's all fake?
So we burn it, right?
Yeah, hell yeah, we burn it down. Fuck it.
Like,
Yeah, I mean, not here, obviously, but when we find something, yeah.
like, dude, what did your cousin Ricky say?
He said that we had to evacuate the town. I had to call my Uncle Dave. And, like, he would never tell me to call my Uncle Dave. Like, you don't want to talk to my Uncle Dave on the phone.
Why didn't you tell that to us out there?
It was... Everybody was watching videotapes.
So you guys keep walking, and you now start to be
Yeah.
able to hear kind of motion behind a door. You can hear different things moving. Seems to be where the hallway ends.
But it's fake. Like, you all said it was fake. So, if I hit the wall with the bat, like...
Yeah, just fucking wham.
Yeah, we just start beating the walls.
So you guys are just cracking into the
Yeah.
walls. All
I
right.
mean, you could try the door.
Go for the door, yeah. But like,
So are
Yeah,
you cracking
there's a-
into the door or the wall?
There's a door. I'll kick the door open.
Okay. So I'll say as you guys kind of kick into this door and make your way through, a little bit of the door frame, or what would be a door frame, kind of falls out. And you definitely see there is a black kind of moss underneath the white tiling. And it is definitely like, if you were to peel it back more, you would see more of it probably a little bit exposed. And you guys
Oh.
kick.
Tub fitter fake. Got it.
There you go. And you guys get into the center room. So as you are in the center room, there is a kind of around the edge of the room, kind of a walkway. And if you look down over the edge, it looks like, I don't want to call it a portal, but it looks like a vast emptiness, a hole, kind of.
I'm gonna take one of these baseballs out of my pocket and like just drop it, throw it in.
Yeah, it hits something, and as it does, you can hear kind of like that squelching sound and the sound of things kind of writhing. Can't quite see it. It is very dark, but it definitely hit something.
I think this is what we're supposed to burn.
sweet.
With what?
I'm
That was going to
gonna
be my
back
question.
up and just like gesture to Betty.
Does anybody here have like a hoodie they don't want?
I'll take my Letterman jacket off, and I'll
Oh,
throw
it's
it
a
over.
sacrifice, but okay.
Not
Lighter.
the Letterman.
I'll state 3 years.
Chuck it in. And hopefully,
Yeah.
if things
So-
don't go up, you understand why I'm climbing down there in person.
So there is a ladder on the side. You start lighting this Letterman jacket in various spots, attempting to get it aflame. It takes a little while. What are the rest of you doing while this is happening? Are you just watching?
Looking around for people? Anybody? Literally anybody?
I'm getting ready to hit whatever climbs out of this hole.
Okay, so you're just kind of holding the bat.
It's the assume the position, yeah.
Yeah, I got my pocket knife out and flip it open.
Okay.
Austin has his Rambo knife, but like doesn't know where to look because now what he was seeing is actually there.
Mm-hmm.
Are you now getting visions of the real world? Like
Something like that. It's very disorienting. I feel like I would have a disadvantage at Dex.
you just see like a see like a Walmart parking lot as you wander around the room.
Yeah. So, Amy, I will say you don't see any people, but as you're kind of like, are you heading over to look in, or are you trying to stay on the outside?
Eventually, I will look down to see what Betty is throwing at, what she's looking at.
Okay. So as Betty lights the Letterman jacket ablaze and it starts to kind of catch fire, tossing it over the edge with the light of that, as it hits, you definitely see what looks like kind of a blob creature with tons of tiny human eyes, bones kind of protruding out in ways that seem like unnatural. And it definitely is not something you have ever seen before. And I will definitely need you to roll for some stress.
How much?
I would probably say at this point, we're at like close to breaking a reality moment. So
That's D8 stress.
a D8 stress, yeah.
That's every.
Luckily, walking
That's
down the hall,
everybody,
our
yeah.
HP would have come back. So hopefully
Correct.
that helps.
Yes,
Here.
it does.
Well, that's a
Oh,
4,
it's a coin toss.
and I'm at a 3. So
It's 3.
Nope.
Okay. All right. Proper with the 8. All right.
Only one stress for me.
So my HP is only 2, and with the one stress from before, I'd say 9 puts me at
Yep.
very low. I don't know what that even means.
So it gets taken off of your control, and then you need to make a save.
So did it go from my HP to my control, or does it all come off my control?
It comes off your HP, spills over to your control,
Okay.
and then you make a control save to see if you have fallout.
So I now have 2 control. Great. Let's see if I can get the best roll in the game. Very much not.
Oh, no.
So then I roll. Do I use that roll for the fallout table, or I roll again for the fallout table?
You roll again.
for that. Yep.
I suffer a fallout. I also am suffering from the hunt.
Oh, okay.
So I'm also just like, ah.
One fun thing is those can only be taken once, so you
Okay.
can just suffer something different.
I have 2 rabid beings.
I rolled a 7. Do you want me to read it out for the group?
Yes, please.
You develop an unnatural hunger for the unusual. If you do not satiate your appetite for 24 hours, take the deprived tag. When you eat, restore HP and give 1d4 stress to anyone that can see. After the first instance, roll 3d6. If the total is higher than your current strength, take the new result. Wow. Okay. So, literal hunger for creepy shit, I guess?
Yeah. We'll find out here in a few, I think.
Guess who's walking
Okay.
down that ladder in a moment?
I got a threshold.
Okay.
There's a pale door with a black handle. It is unremarkable, other than the fact that this door can seemingly appear anywhere. Sometimes the door is in a place it shouldn't be. Sometimes it stands alone, attached, nothing at all. The only one thing you are sure of is that it is the same door each time. You have not yet been able to open it. Cool.
Okay. All right.
The one door I can't kick down.
You can keep trying though. And Amy, how are you doing?
I'm okay. I rolled a 3, so that was 2 off my HP. So I still have 3 HP left.
All right, Amy,
I'm
you're doing all
surprisingly
right.
doing okay.
Yes, Amy.
Yeah. Okay, so you guys, as all of this, as the Letterman jacket starts falling forward, Amy gets a glimpse of this creature, and it feels as though the room just kind of suffocates in on everybody. And there is a couple of you that feel a definite impulse to head down into that, what looks to be is kind of just like a small cell, somewhere where it's being kept, this creature.
You shouldn't be here. We need to finish this and leave.
As you are saying that, Maxwell like compresses and into a painful crunch, and you do literally hear his stomach grumble. As he reflexes back, he'll grab onto the railing and then look over to the ladder and just determinedly walk towards the ladder.
Yeah. And you can make it down there fairly easy.
I'm climbing down.
Yeah. You both get down there. As soon as you get down there, this creature is going to it's going to reach to attack you. Definitely just writhing and kind of seeming to want to feed on something. So.
Oh dear.
Okay.
The D6 for the bite, I rolled twice because it's going to go once for both. And I got a 2 and a 4.
What does that mean?
So that is the damage.
So what happens when I'm at 0 HP there, game designer?
It goes to strength. Then you make a strength check, and if you fail, you are on the ground.
Okay, so how much damage did I take, Chrissy?
3.
3?
Sorry. I rolled it. Was it 3 the first time? Because I rolled the second one. Or it was 2 the first time.
It was 2 and 4, you said.
2 and 4. Okay, thank you. Because I'm looking at the dice and it says 4, but
I don't know what that means. I just wasn't sure what you were... Can you explain that real quick? What do you mean? What do you mean you rolled a 2 and then a 4?
So I rolled a D6 for their attack. It's attack against you.
Okay.
So it's 2 damage.
Yep.
And then it would be 4 damage for Betty.
Oh, okay. 2
so
for me, 4 for her.
Your
Okay.
correct.
Yep.
So it would go against your
Did
HP
you-
and then strength, right?
Did you remember to roll a d12 for me?
Ooh, what does that
Because
mean?
I'm being hunted.
That's right. Hang on. Let me find a D12. I'll just do it this way.
As long as it's not a 12, I'm fine.
Okay, so I just did it on my phone.
I think this means I'm dead.
And I'm very sorry. I literally was like, I didn't have a D12 handy, so I just...
Thank you for your
I
service.
like to imagine that I just fucking charge the thing. And that's the end of that.
Well, are you attempting? I will give you this, and the creator can tell me if I'm gonna do it anyways. As you go in for this last kind of balls out, I just have this hunger within me to attack this thing and get it. Do you want to go for an attack against it?
I would love to do that. I would love to set this fucker on fire.
Go for it.
I mean, that's a 7.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So you kind of just running forward. What kind of damage are you doing as you're trying to set this on fire?
Yeah, I am just charging it with a flamethrower and not expecting to come out of this.
Okay. So your bones kind of shifting and cracking in ways that like you probably haven't heard them do in years, with a lighter and a can of whatever you have in your spray paint, and you are running at this thing and it lets out a scream unlike anything any of you have heard before. And just completely, instead of biting, kind of just takes Betty in its maw, and you can see that that's probably been the demise of everyone who has been fighting it, or attempting to keep it contained. So Betty, what I will allow you to do, if you'd like, you can roll another character quickly, if you want.
Is Ricky dead?
Ricky is not dead. So I will...
Can Ricky show up?
Sure.
Hell yes.
So for the rest of the party, what are you guys up to?
Watching in horror.
Max? So Max is down there. Well, with what was Betty.
Correct. Yes.
I mean, I'll run over that ladder and like push the bat down to try and get Max back.
Okay. So kind of to assist back up, pull him back up.
Like grab the bat.
I will cling on then, I guess. Did the monster die?
No, but it is pretty damaged.
Oh, okay. Then actually, he would be too hungry for that.
Oh.
So he's gonna.
You're on your own.
He's gonna go in for a swing and try to get a chunk.
Okay, go for it.
I need to go find what that means. Hold on.
Roll a d6.
Thank you.
If you're using a knife, if you're using your teeth.
Yeah.
I did use the knife, and I only got a 1 for damage, which is upsetting.
That's okay, because it's still something.
Do I get a chunk of its meat?
You do. You go to stab, and it actually just kind of slices down one of its tentacles as it is kind of writhing in pain, and you definitely grab a chunk of it. Are you taking a bite?
100%.
All right, go for it.
So, sorry, I need to. My thing is being really slow to load. There it is. When you eat, restore HP and give 1d4 stress to anyone that can see.
Hi.
So I now have my HP back, which is great.
My HP was at 0 because of the previous stress I'd taken.
Stays 0.
I take 2 from the D4, which I'm rolling on Fallout again.
Well, no, then it goes to control. And then you try to make a control save to avoid fallout.
For anyone paying attention, I had to roll 3d6 to potentially get new strength, but unfortunately it was already... My strength is already higher than that, so...
Okay.
I did not get supernatural strength from this encounter, which would have been rad.
Yeah.
Heavy is the head. An ethereal crown hangs above your head. It is not visible to all, only a special few. Tales have been told of your coming. Make a control save. If you pass, increase your max control by d6. I fail. So now I just have this crown above my head all the time.
Yeah,
not everyone can see it.
Not everyone can see it. I will say Amy probably would be the one most likely to be able to notice it.
I'm so glad I didn't read this book.
It's so good.
Trevor, what's in your head?
What? No. Later.
So just in that moment, you guys hear heavy footsteps kind of stomping through, and Ricky comes into the room kind of panicked.
brandishing
Ricky!
a fire extinguisher.
Rick.
What the fuck, Trevor? Why were you on the CCTV? Why did you drive through the front door? Why haven't you called my dad? You are coming home. You are telling Mum what you've been doing. We are getting out of here. What the fuck happened down there? That is too much blood. Everybody, we are leaving. There is a flesh monster. This is not on. We need to go home and pray on this. Trevor, get in the car.
See, this is why we had to come and save Rick. He always knows what to do.
So, Cousin Rick, as you enter the room, you see Trevor kind of a little bit panicked because now they have something happening within their mind that not everyone can see, nor can you, I don't think. Maxwell is what appears to be chewing on a piece of this flesh creature, kind of maniacally. Amy looks a little bit panicked, and Austin is also quite panicked. So this creature is going to attempt and start kind of crawling up out of this pen I'm going to use, or cell, whatever word you want. And it is just tentacles kind of like writhing itself up and pulling itself over the top of this.
I think we should leave. I agree with Ricky.
Yeah, I'm into Rick's plan. Lead the way, Rick.
I mean, there's one corridor and we're taking it.
I mean, because Max is still down in the pit, he's going to attempt to continue to stab this thing.
I tried to save Max. If he doesn't want to come out of the pit, that's on him.
It's his choice. We
I
should
don't even
go.
know this guy.
Well,
I met him-
unfortunately, at this point, the thing is climbing the ladder, so I have to follow behind it.
You're chasing it, chasing us.
Yeah, so go ahead and attack it again.
Aha, 6. Haha.
All right. It is poorly pulling itself out of this pit. It is going to attempt with one of its tentacles to kind of like just squeeze and crush and pull Maxwell into its flesh. Hang on 1 second. I have to see what dice that is. Oh, it's a D6. For 2 damage, it is going to just be holding you and squeezing you with one of its tentacles, kind of like a snake.
How much damage was that?
2.
Okay, we're good.
And it is going to drag you along with it. It is going to continue to make its way up, kind of pulling you along behind. And are you guys hightailing it out of here?
Yeah, Trevor, whose is the
absolutely.
wheelchair? Because they should get in it so I can take them out.
We're beyond it. We gotta go.
You see
Unrelated
Austin.
wheelchair.
You see Austin like sort of looking around like he doesn't know how to run away because
no.
he
We'll
can't.
grab
see.
his
Austin,
arm
get in
and
the
pull him.
wheelchair.
Yeah, so you guys toss Austin into the wheelchair and are making your way out. Are you doing anything on your way out?
Are there fire alarms? Can I pull like every fire alarm I see?
You don't see any.
Why? Yeah, that's got to be an OSHA violation.
Yes.
I don't know if
Plenty of
the
those here.
I don't know if the pod people really care about OSHA.
And with that thing in the basement, I don't think they care about fires.
Maybe they should. Maybe they should have a fire.
I mean,
suppression
that's what
system.
tipped me off. It was like the lack of fire extinguishers. I've spent all day trying to find one, and it's not safe here. And then there's the flesh monster, and it ate my. Yeah.
And the flesh monster. That's the second one.
I do love the fact that Ricky evidently has not been included into the pod people, and also probably worked here for a while before realizing there was so many problems.
Yeah, Ricky
Yeah.
was also Allstate, but didn't go to college.
He can't read. I see. Okay.
I mean, I reckon
We
Ricky's
can all
on the
read.
football team, and that thing that happens to you when you're on the football team for too long has happened to him. So maybe not the most perceptive.
That thing.
That thing. All All right.
Yeah,
Everybody in the
Subaru-
car.
The Subaru's out front, so like we can
Sweet.
bolt.
All right.
Oh
so
yeah,
you
hightail
guys,
it. I tell
And
it's dad's.
you're going to
Take me to the
leave
bakery.
Maxwell behind, not attempt to. Maxwell, are you
I-
doing anything in the grass?
I'm still slashing at best I
Just slashing
can.
at it?
Slashing or pushing or ripping or anything I can to get out of its grasp.
Hitting.
So go ahead and roll again, because
God damn, it's only a 1.
so you're nickel and diming this thing, but it's a thing.
Can I scream from inside its grasp?
Yes.
So Maxwell does as the thing like climbs up onto the balcony and starts crawling down the corridor. He will scream for help. It's kind of a war cry scream though.
Fine. I'll
What
Like-
if we hit it with? What if we hit it with the car?
I'm gonna hit it with the bat. Like,
I know you were Allstate, but I feel like the car would do more damage in this situation.
I hit it for.
Would the car
I hit a
fit down the
6.
corridor?
I hit it for 6.
For 6? Oh yeah. So you connect. You guys actually watch Trevor in what looks like a professional stance, kind of just haul back and crack into this thing, and you see like a large chunk of it just splatter against the wall, and as it does that, you can kind of see it. I want to say kind of the way to describe it would be kind of pulling the plaster down off the walls, and it's kind of just like singeing things, like as if it's like flesh is burning and dying. And it is definitely in the process of dying. That was a good connect.
As it dies,
Steak.
Take it back, Trevor. Hit him again.
Maxwell will find leverage enough to like get out of its grasp and like push the thing off of it.
Yeah.
Oh fuck! Thank you. Oh God, thank you.
Allstate. 3 years.
Ricky, is that the only one?
What?
Is that the only flesh monster?
Is that the only flesh monster?
You know that the kind of Stepford wifey creatures are definitely spawn of this.
I mean, it's the only one that looks like that. But, like all of the fucking homeopathic air freshener people, like, they're going to end up like that. They're going to start sprouting, pick up a tentacle, and just go like, these.
So you're saying the town is
Great.
actually fucked?
Yes, that's why I said you should leave.
Yeah, getting out of
All
town.
right. Yeah, we
Yeah,
should go get Uncle Dave.
Can you drop me at
Yeah,
the
I mean-
bakery on the square?
How do we
Yeah,
leave?
absolutely.
Well, how do we tell anyone about this?
Get those closest to you who haven't been infected yet and just leave.
I think we just grab him. Are there any of these Denali's around?
But yeah, yep, there's a whole slew of them.
Ricky, where's the keys for these cars?
Probably at your
Come
security
on, man,
desk.
don't
Ricky.
pretend. Just, yeah,
Just grab
Yeah.
them. Like, everybody take one.
yoink.
Go grab your people.
I already did.
Oh, yeah. Hell yeah.
Why
Ricky.
did you come here?
To get you. And it worked.
I told him it was a dumb idea.
I just grand slammed like an alien. So like
Yes. I'm planning to go home to Dad's and never mention this ever again.
I mean fair.
And it's someone else's problem.
Godspeed
Yeah.
to you, Rick.
So everybody's grabbing their own kind of like Yukon SUV vehicle and
Yep.
getting the hell out of Dodge.
I am taking my mom's Subaru. I'm not gonna take That's
You're not gonna leave
Yeah.
that behind.
I'll
sure.
take the
it's got all my
Denali
stickers on it.
to the bakery and then get Addie and our Subaru and get out of town.
Yeah.
All right. Is anyone doing anything else?
Austin's probably crashing the Denali a lot because he is seeing two worlds at the same time. So it's
Correct, yes.
definitely a lot of like hitting of stuff. But they're just Stepford wives, right? So
I mean, not
Yeah.
all of them, not yet.
So
Probably
they,
do
as you
want to set
guys,
the facility on. Sorry.
no, go for it. I was gonna say, as a couple of you kind of hop into these cars and shoot in whatever directions, you definitely see that there's a little bit more chaos in town starting to happen. That these kind of Stepford wife-esque women have become a little bit more aggressive. Probably at the loss of the mother creature. But Ricky, you were about to say something.
Yeah, you know that thing that this place doesn't have, like fire sprinklers and so on? Yeah, I'm burning it. Like, I have spent several months cataloging all the OSHA violations here and know exactly where the unsafe places are, where the faulty wiring is, and it's burning.
Okay. You definitely are able to set it ablaze.
And with
It
that,
is
the
going
dramatic music just fades out. Just in perfect timing.
It did. That was very good. So, go ahead.
Maxwell doesn't have anyone that he like knows he needs to save. Like, his aunt probably lives like 30, 40 minutes away, so like she's not in town. But he doesn't really have anyone that he knows to save, so he's just going to drive away on his own.
Yeah, so as Maxwell starts to drive away, you will notice that small thing you had seen on your wrist and had kind of started to freak out about. You feel this like strange compulsion to kind of just like, I want to use the word explore because I want to be a little bit appropriate, but like you kind of dig into your skin just a little bit. And as you do that, you can see that kind of black, mucky, viscous underneath start kind of writhing, knowing full well that you have probably been in the process of either transforming into one of these creatures and overtaken by one, kind of feeling that underneath your skin, pushing the skin back down, it kind of folds back into itself as if you didn't even cut your arm or explore it. And there's a strange sense of power behind that, where you feel as though like you were on a mission now. And that mission is to get everybody on board with this because you feel good, you feel strong, you feel completely and fully the best you have probably in years.
So you see just the scene as his car comes to a slow stop on the highway and very slowly turns around and just heads back into town.
Yeah. And what is everybody else doing? Some of you were getting the hell out of Dodge. I will give you the chance. We will end here, and I will give you the chance to see your character off the way that you choose to. You're muted. Okay.
I feel like this is one of those situations where, like, depending on how Trevor's player wants to handle this, this is going to be one of those things where the cousins both know it happened and they can never tell anybody else about it. But it's going to be like the horrible secret that they carry with them for the rest of their lives, you know?
Yeah, I think Trevor's gonna go like work on an oil rig.
Yeah.
And just get as far away from people. Like, because if people are like, if this thing is changing into people, I'm gonna go as far away from people as I ever can.
Yeah. Like, I feel like Ricky is probably not oil rigging it, but like I think he maybe goes into like trucking or something where he doesn't have to be around people as much as possible.
Always moving,
You know?
just constantly
Yeah.
keep going. Yeah, for sure. Yep, same.
What about Amy and Austin?
Amy heads back to the bakery, grabs Addie, and they've always joked about creating a lesbian commune out in the woods, and I think it's about time for that to happen. So kind of living off the grid with other lesbians, just trying to avoid all of this.
Living the dream.
Living the dream.
Austin probably would not stop talking about it, but his ramblings, as it says, are incoherent at best. And so, whether the people come and real silence him or not is up to the viewer's imagination.
Yeah, we'll leave that into a walk into the sunset type of moment. We'll leave it to everybody's decision as to what happens to Austin. So that's where we'll leave the game. I appreciate you guys being so willing to go along with my weird MLM horror game.
That was great.
MLM is already horror, so I think you're fine.
That was so good. Thank you so much for running it.
Yeah, so I do want to give a couple of minutes for us to be able to talk about the game, talk about gameplay, and then we will do some outros for you guys, the players. I want you to plug your stuff, tell people where they can find you, the whole 9 yards. But listen, I loved reading this. I did very little prepping aside from the Google Doc that Nick had sent me. Listen, I had a lot of fun with this. This is totally outside of my wheelhouse. I'm a super hijinksy, weird, fun kind of game person. So horror game was not my usual style.
I do love that you say that, despite the fact that the last game you ran with TPK was Tales from the Loop, or at least the last game I played in was Tales from the Loop, which is a very similar vibe.
I'd like to say that I like suspense, but I don't know about horror. So what did you guys think of the game?
I liked the escalation. Like, I liked the way there was this sort of curve of things just ramping up. You know? And then the tipping point of, fuck it, we're ramming the gates. Which was kind of glorious.
Yeah, I liked the idea of having like kind of a doom clock idea, but I didn't also want to force that too quickly in the game because this is a one shot. We don't have like, you know what I mean? I didn't want to railroad you guys too much into that. But I do know that is kind of one of the, I don't want to say characteristics of the game, but one of the things that is kind of suggested as a good plot mover is a doom clock. By way of the way I read it in the book.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, like when I wrote a thing about how you could run games like this, right? There's so many ways you could do it. One of them is like have steps of what happens if we did nothing, right? If we left that diner and didn't do anything, like what would happen?
Yes. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, there were a handful of things that you guys across the board, like, had you stayed to watch what happens with that guy, if you would have, there were definitely different things that I had in mind. If you guys did nothing, I had something planned for that, just vaguely. But for the most part, I kind of wholly planned the beginning and wholly planned the end. But the good thing about this system that I have to admit, like, that I appreciated was that the ability to kind of what's the word I'm looking for? Not make it up, but kind of like
improvise.
Improvise. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. I was going to say proper. You tell us to do this all the time. Kind of like yes and the game along, right?
Yeah.
It's a very easy system to do that with.
Mechanically, I appreciate for this type of game how brutal it is. there's no room for error for the characters, and they very quickly take on trauma and all of these effects like over and over again. And for this type of story, I think that works really well.
Okay, I will say something that is going to sound rude, but is not intentionally rude. I usually despise like stress mechanics in games, and I almost didn't play because I was like, I'm not sure that's right for me. Mostly because I did recently come from Alien, which has a really intense stress mechanic that just like doesn't always fit properly. And so I felt like this one did a very good job of like the Fallout table being kind of general enough that it could literally be something spooky, like otherworldly, but also is like tied into like the horrors that is integral to this game without being like too over the top. Because the problem we ran into, and perhaps we were playing it wrong, who knows, but we ran into this problem where like stress on top of stress led to more stress when like they just you couldn't play the game because you were only playing with the stress, and it didn't feel like that in the way that you GM'd it tonight. And it definitely didn't feel like the mechanics were too like you didn't kind of have reciprocal stress, which wasn't as much of an issue.
It didn't spiral.
Exactly.
And
which
also,
I appreciate.
One of the things which I found, so I read the book a little ahead of time, is the Fallout table isn't necessarily like a negative thing. It changes your character, but it doesn't weaken them, which means it's a thing which you kind of want to lean into because it's fun to get Fallout. Like I think the results that we all ended up getting were all things that pushed things forward and made things happen in ways I found really fun.
I say that a lot for Monster of the Week, that I like when I fail a roll because it means it makes things more interesting for my character, and like things get more dangerous. And that was the same kind of vibe I got.
Like a fail forward.
Like
you're
Blades in the
constantly
Dark.
pushing. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And like that's actually something I wanted to say about the group as well. So I really like the way everybody here was kind of willing to just stick their face in things and see where it was going, you know?
We said it in intermission several times. I'm like, I'm waiting for us to get ambushed. I'm like pushing myself into stressful situations.
Yeah.
My character carried a bat around.
Yes.
Like it was like, it's Chekhov's bat at this point.
Yeah. So I will say, like, for myself running this, what I appreciated about, and I wasn't sure I was doing it correct. Well, I'm using the phrase correctly because I'll break a game however I. That's just
Fuck
I'm the worst
rules.
about that. Like I'll just go into it and I'm like, well, it says to do that, but it's fine. Yeah. So when I was reading it, what I was hoping, and I hope got across, was that while the fallout and the stress was going to create kind of these like various things happening, what I didn't want was to kind of play into any of those like tropes of, I suppose the way I'm kind of trying to describe this is like, yeah, you're starting to have a mental breakdown without trying to be like, oh yeah, you're shaking in a corner and you can't function and you can't, without trying to describe like actual mental illness in a way that is like weird and tropey and like that we see a lot in horror stuff.
Borderline rude and disrespectful.
Kind of borderline rude, yeah.
It wasn't reductive.
Exactly.
Yeah, like it's at the beginning when I wrote this game specifically to be able to play horror and cosmic horror and do stress mechanics and stuff that I think are fun. I love Mothership. It's my favorite thing to run. But I didn't want it to be mental illness stigmatizing, which anytime I touch anything Call of Cthulhu, regardless of all of the mythos, Lovecraft issues, on top of that, it's like, oh, your mind breaks. Oh, you develop paranoia. And that's why I enjoyed hearing people say they picked up the fact that the Fallout table is truly the only way you mechanically progress. There's no levels. And all of them are meant to be fun and like narrative things. Like Logan's...
Like all of them empower you to do stuff.
Logan's door. Like if we were playing this long term and they survive, it could be a whole thing
Yeah.
of trying to open that door.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. As soon as you were talking about a door, I was like, oh man, I wish we were playing a second game. I would put that door somewhere where it was just unnerving, you know?
And I got two real, like they were narratively focused, like fall like the crown and the door. And I was just like, okay, well, I've just set up an arc for that whole character.
And
through roles,
which is cool. And then I talking with Chrissy and like discording back and forth and talking about like clarifying things. I was like, oh, and I will add this to the recommendations, or every mystery I write from this point forward is having also custom fallouts specific to the mystery.
That's smart.
Have them be more tailored, and so you could either pull from this long list or really have like, for this setting, these are the kinds of things that you could have fallout for, because this is what you're responding to.
Yeah.
I was waiting for Proper to start to eat the black tentacle that appeared on his arm. I thought that's where you were gonna go.
Yeah, I was kind of waiting for that as well, but you.
So what I didn't realize is that you said something was crawling in my arm. I thought it was crawling in her arm, and I didn't know that for like 2 hours.
Yes. Yep.
Anyway, it was a good game. I liked it a lot.
Yeah, I had a blast. You guys are a lot of fun to play with. I appreciate that you guys went with it.
Yeah, thank you, Chrissy, for running it. Thanks everyone for playing it.
I had an absolute blast. Like, just lean in, go kind of all out with everything, and like it was just a really nice vibe. It was a really nice dynamic with everyone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Appreciate it. I'll say for the audience, an exciting thing for me as the writer and then player is that both Logan and Emmy's books are in the Appendix N, and so when their names popped up, I was like, wait, are you the writer of Esoteric Enterprises? Are you the writer of the company? Because I read those prior, and they definitely were in my like, if you like this, read these.
Thank you.
That was fun.
That means a lot. Thank you. I love your book.
Yeah.
It's really good.
Like there's so many little things that this game does that just kind of give you those immediate little hooks into the character and into what's going on, which like, you know, the thing where it's like painting in broad strokes with suggestive little details is something I think a lot of good design does. Like it's very minimalist, but you come away with a good picture.
Yeah, I agree. It gives you all the tools you need to tell the story without like overburdening you with a ton of stuff. And I think it empowers people who might not feel like they have those tools to like build on it. It's really good.
Shucks.
Like it's really good, man. Like you did a great job.
Yes. Yeah. I had a blast. So
Yeah.
we will go around again, same overlay order. I seriously, please plug where everyone can find you. Tell us where the whole 9 yards. So we'll start with Proper. I think that was who we started with.
Cool.
Is it this direction or this direction? I don't know how it goes on stream.
You're fine.
I can pull up the thing.
So my name is Proper Nerdy. I'm a TPK staff member, role player, and sometimes game designer. I want to plug 2 things if you liked what you saw today. On Monday, I'm running my City of Mist campaign called Madness Calls It Forth. We are running with Chrissy and with Lukalok and with Ekaj the Orc and with Legendary Vermin. 4 spectacular players, and I have devious things that I'm planned to do to them.
Yes.
Also, similar to this game, in October when we do our like full month of Halloween stuff, I am running the game called The Zone, which is run entirely online, and it has a lot of like spooky, ethereal horror kind of elements to it. So I have not tried it before, but I have a very, very fun cast. So I hope you join that. My computer does not have enough computing power right now to look up that time, but someone should be typing !schedule into the chat so you can look that up right now. Lastly, for things that I write, I've only written one game so far, but I'm really proud of it, and it meant a lot to me if you played it. It is called Generational. Chrissy tried it out and really enjoyed it. It's a world-building game where you tell the story through individual people who lived in your world across many centuries. It's a lot of fun. It's very low stress, and it's very improvisational. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I hope that you will too. I believe that brings us to Goblin Archives, who can talk more about this game, actually.
Yeah, so thanks, Proper. I'm Goblin Archives. I'm the writer and designer of Liminal Horror, which was the game we played tonight. You can find me on Twitter at Goblin Archives. I also might have an itch that you can find my games at Goblin_Archives. I also have a full website if you like the game, but like don't want to buy the PDF. It has a full searchable website. Everything is Creative Commons 4.0, so like you can take it, use it, sell it. Like I'm all good. I want to empower people to write their own games the way I was. Also, in the website, there is a bunch of game design resources where I created an archive specifically for people who are starting out. Well, and that I wished I had like Twitter threads on fonts and how to do layout and design and all of that. And so if you're at all interested, take a look at that.
It's pretty cool.
Amazing.
I don't know who was next.
Real quick, I forgot to say that my game is called Generational. You can find it on itch. I just forgot to say the name. I think we went down to Archival Dust Bunny next.
Yes, it was me next. So I'm Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG streamer. So if any of that sounds interesting, you can find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun. On Sundays, alternating, you can find me either over on Gona_Hawking's Twitch channel at 1:30 p.m. Eastern playing D&D in a world with 1930s technology. We have some really great cast for that, really fun characters. It's worth checking out. On opposite Sundays, you can find me on Guild of the Phoenix at 8 p.m. Eastern playing Cyberpunk Red. Monday night, you can find me on Weave the Tale playing Alien, the TTRPG, at 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Tuesdays, you can find me on Black Feather Guild playing Dragon Age at 8 p.m. Eastern. And Wednesdays, you can find me on Valdrin's Twitch channel playing an Animorphs-themed Blades in the Dark campaign, which is really awesome, full of teen angst and 90s nostalgia.
It's amazing.
If you haven't seen it, you are missing out. If podcasts are more your jam, you can find me on Response Team Omnicron, which is a Lancer actual play podcast playing through the No Room for a Wallflower campaign. Our premiere for that is next month. And as far as TPK roleplay goes, next month you can find me on the 14th playing Call of Cthulhu here as far as Halloween games. And then the next night on the 15th, I'll be playing Pangolin Prom with TPK Coven, which is going to be a lot of fun. That's all I got.
Okay.
All right. That brings us to Trevor, aka Logan.
Oh, that's me. I'm Logan. My name is Logan Dean. I am a writer and game designer. I'm on Twitter at L__Dean. And I'm on, you can find my games at mega-corp.itch.io. That's where you can find the company. It's free. It also has a third-party publishing license. If you want to make stuff for that, you feel free to make stuff for it. We just did a follow-up called the Conflict Resolution Guidelines, which has 6 adventures, new character stuff. All of the mechanical stuff is available in the company PDF. You don't have to buy the new book to get any game extras. That's just something we added for the print. I'll be running the company on +1 EXP stream on October 10th, which is pretty cool. And we have if you go to the Megacorp itch page, we have a jam for company content coming up all October through the whole month to celebrate the release of the CRG physical books. So like if you want to contribute something, feel free to. You're free to charge for it. I don't want any fucking money. I just want people to make stuff for it because I'm tired of writing everything for it. So that's me. Thanks for having me. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, thanks for being here. And up next, Cave Girl.
Hey, so I'm Cave Girl. I did Esoteric Enterprises, which if you move your head to the right a little bit, you can see it on the shelf behind Goblin. You can get that on Drive-Thru RPG for the PDF, or it is published in print by Soul Muppet. And then I also, in the next few months, have Dungeon Bitches coming out, which is, God, how do I even describe it? Like
A lot.
gay,
Amazing.
romantic, dark fantasy horror. It's a lot of fun. It's watch this space soon.
Or
We're
watch it on our
changing the
YouTube
layout.
channel.
They did play it, and it is very good. And there is a YouTube of it, which you should definitely watch because they absolutely nailed it. So, yeah. I haven't actually done RPG streams before, and I don't think I have anything else lined up. So, yeah, thank you for having me on.
Yeah, thank you for being here. And I can say, I think it was your encounter table, gave me the inspiration. And I say that as a question mark for like, oh, how can I tie an MLM into like weird cult activity, and how can I make this? So thank you for all your hard work. I really appreciate it. Also for Dungeon Bitches, because that was a life-changing game for me. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. All right, guys, and I'm Chrissy. You can find me all over the internet at Chrissy Crits. I'll be all over TPK doing various things. I'll be in City of Mist, our Tyranny of Dragons campaign. We have Oathsworn coming out. Just a whole bunch of stuff. So if you feel so inclined, hop into our Discord, check out our schedule, whatever you feel comfortable with. And hopefully I see you around. And I think that's it for us. So thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. And I appreciate y'all.
Good night.
Thank you.
Really
Good
good.
night.